Oh, we got an echo probably, huh? Sorry about that. I didn't turn my mic off. I'm stupid. Hey, how you doing? Well, hey, everybody. What's going on? What's hot? What's hip? What's happening? What's shaking on your Thursday evening? Hope you're having a good one. And tonight, let me tell you about burgers. Hamburgers to some, but we'll get into that because it's a thing. And Cobra Kai. We haven't done that in a while. And that's also a thing. Got a lot of great people in here right now. Gilman's here. We got the wonderful, lovely, and talented roller skater Texas girl, Gene1313. Doc is here. He's been a member for 8 months and counting. He's not just been here for 8 months. He's counting. He's going to be out of fingers in 2 more months in terms of counting. Not like a chainsaw thing. He's just Lucas Malago is here. Everybody's here. We're going to have a great time. And Cobra Kai, that is the thing. Hey, do me a favor right now if you could. Please like, share, subscribe, retweet, notification bell, free things, totally free, don't cost you a farthing. And it helps us with the algorithm, the almighty, all-powerful, all-seeing algorithm. Plus, we do have super chats. We do have memberships like the Doc has here. And we love it when you do those things because they give us money and we got to pay the bills around here because Daddy needs a new pair of shoes and all that kind of stuff. And plus, at the bottom of the screen, down there in the crawl, it'll tell you how you can turn on your gifted memberships, and totally philanthropic, good-hearted people that follow this show might just gift you a gift. Doesn't even have to be your birthday or Christmas or Groundhog Day or any other special occasion. They just gift you a free membership, and then you have access to that special members-only exclusive content that we do on the weekends that's frankly, it's vulgar. Anyway, Gene1313 says, hey, Tom, don't know if you ever said who does your song. That is Max Carl and Big Dance. This is the name of the group. Tim Jenkinson says, that picture looks more like a sandwich. And, I agree with you, Tim Jenkinson. It is. It was put up there. It was meant to stimulate debate, which I think in this case it already has. It already is. Is it a ham sandwich? Is it a burger sandwich? Who knows what it's called? Metal Maiden Vicky is here for Metal Maiden Vicky's Metal Euphoria at sonicasylumradio.com. Oh, boy. What a great show she has every Saturday from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. They also have a fine chat room. And it is also cheerful. I don't know. Theirs is probably the coolest on the internet. It's verified by independent sources. We, however, have the most cheerful chat room on the internet as verified by independent sources. But as Tim Jenkinson just mentioned, this is technically a hamburger behind me. But it's known as a homemade hamburger. And those of us, I was born on a small farm in Indiana. And if you ever had instances where perhaps mom made some hamburgers because she had hamburger meat because she slaughtered one of the cows, then had to put it on regular bread because she didn't want to drive to the store, just get hamburger buns, that's a homemade hamburger right there. And some people have them if they've been grew up on a small farm in Indiana, which also might have your basketball team playing against Cedar Knob or Ulitic or Terhune. Bunch of mites. You got to push them back in the paint. Make them chuck it from the cheap seats. Be careful of that purgatory they call a gym. No drive, 10 feet in. That'll do her. Metal Mean Vicky says, I was watching the Dwight Fry episode last night, and side note, good call on the Alice Cooper song. Wolf had made a comment about the TV show iZombie, starring Rose McIver. Well, we love it when people go to our archived episodes. That's great. The Wolf is here. He says, hello, folks. Metal Maiden Vicky says, Rose is also in the TV show Ghosts and played Tinkerbell on the TV show Once Upon a Time. Metal Maiden Vicky coming in hot with the trivia. iZombie is a great show. Highly recommend. It's probably not the same as iCarly. which is also actually a pretty good show. Gene1313 says, I always did Wonder Bread. Many people do. Many people love them. A Wonder Bread burger. I'll get into it in a minute. The burger hamburger thing. One of the things about burgers and hamburgers, there's a lot of contradictory nomenclature involving the naming. People saying hi, and no, not the same as iCarly. Not the same as a robot girl show either. People saying hi. All right. Okay, let me tell you about hamburgers. All right, may I? Can I please tell you about hamburgers? And now I got to operate the new and not improved StreamYard switcher. People saying hi, people saying hi, people saying hi. I love how cheerful our chat room is, always. Okay, let's get started. A hamburger, known to cool people as burgers, we'll get into it, is a dish that's usually, when you say hamburger, everybody knows what you're talking about. It's a burger, but it's not made of ham. Other burgers are like salmon burger, veggie burger, and they're made of the thing that they put in front of burger, but a hamburger isn't. That's why I say burger. Because when you say burger, everybody knows you mean a hamburger, ground up, dead bovine, made into a patty, and placed on a sliced bun or roll. Usually, I've afforded you a fine example here. And as you notice, it's got the usual, but not mandatory, side item of French fries. And in the back, either a frosty beer or healthful glass of orange juice. We don't know. All right. These burgers are often served with cheese or lettuce or tomato or onion or pickles or bacon, or people will really put anything on a burger. And also they will put something on it called special sauce, which runs the gamut. Some call it secret sauce. We all know it's Thousand Island dressing with a little mayo in there. Sometimes the buns have sesame seeds on the top. We don't know. And the cheeseburger is its own designation. In that instance, it's okay to say cheeseburger, and people still know what you're talking about. Even though the burger itself is not made of cheese, it's a burger with cheese on it. Look, you can call it a hamburger in certain technical situations, and it's perfectly fine. No one will cast a side eye at you for that. However, if you say, I think I should go get a hamburger, that's not cool. You got burger and you got hamburger. And it's like, burger's over here, it's Fonzie, and hamburger is over here, and it's Urkel. So I'm going to use burger, if that's okay with you, the viewing audience. Yeah. And then there's the whole debate, is a burger a sandwich? Is it not a sandwich? Of course, it's a kind of sandwich. It's on between two pieces of bread. Anyway, there's the places they serve burgers, fast food or diner. There's the thing about that. Gilman was talking about Culver's, which he thinks is great. I haven't been in a Culver's in a long time. I don't know if they serve it inside with a plate, real plate, and cutlery, china. If they do, I don't consider it fast food, even if they give it to you wrapped in paper through a drive-thru later or, in another life. I used to work at Steak and Shake when I was in high school. Steak and Shake, yeah. They used to have curb service. They would actually run the dining stuff, the real plate and the real glass and the real silverware, out to a car and put it on the side, or I could give it to them to go wrapped up in paper. Now, the reason that's not fast food is because inside, cutlery, fine china, all of the business. So that's my definition there. Some of the largest multinational corporations on earth feature the burger as their main thing. McDonald's, Burger King. There you go. Now, why is it even called a hamburger? I hear you cry out plaintively in the darkness. Well, very simply, it's because the term hamburger originally comes from Hamburg, Germany, where, as you all know, Ballon d'Or player Kevin Keegan played for Hamburg HSV. Franz Beckenbauer even played there. Maybe even Uli Stein. I don't know. It's the second largest city in Germany, but get this. There is no specific connection between the city and the burger, the thing called a burger. There's no, yeah. People have what I call bastardized the burger in naming convention, because you can have a buffalo burger, you can have a venison burger, you can have kangaroo burger, you can have chicken burger, turkey burger, elk burger, lamb burger, fish burger, whatever kind of burger you want. But we all know that's just tricking up your burger, and you don't want to trick up your burger. A burger's a burger. Call those other things something else. Yeah. Chicken burger is the one I really don't like, because it's not even ground up into a patty. They just put chicken on it. That's a chicken sandwich. It's not a chicken burger. What's wrong with these people? What the heck's wrong with them? All right, let's go way back in history, the history of the burger, shall we? I'm glad you asked. Now, versions of the burger have been, I know, I almost didn't even prepare this photo for the thing, but it's historical. It's historical. This is what's called, and this is how the Hamburg city in Germany became associated with what we know as a burger. Hamburger. This is a Hamburg steak, also known as a fricadelle, not as dirty as it sounds, in Germany. And they've been serving this since the 17th century, way back there. In fact, the 1758 edition of the book, The Art of Cookery Made Plain and Easy by Hannah Glass, includes a recipe that at the time was called a Hamburg sausage. But it wasn't a sausage, it was this thing. And it was supposed to be served with bread underneath it. There was also a similar thing in Hamburg that they called a Rundstück warm, a bread roll warm that had this type of ground beef on it. However, that particular thing, the Rundstück warm, didn't have to be ground up beef. It could have been a beefsteak, like I'm showing you here. Let me show it to you a little bigger. Like I'm showing you here, it could have been a beefsteak. So this is an ancient ancestor of our friend, the burger. Yeah. Some people I'll call silly, have suggested that it's called a hamburger because it was eaten by passengers between two pieces of bread traveling from Hamburg, Germany to New York on the Hamburg-America line, which started in 1847, and it became so well known aboard that particular line of ships that they gave it that name. It's not really known specifically which is the correct of the two stories, but that's what I'm saying. There's also a reference to a Hamburg steak as early as 1884 in the Boston Journal. And in 1896, the Chicago Daily Tribune made a highly specific claim regarding a hamburger sandwich in an article. And that at the time was only 5 cents. A distinguished favorite, only 5 cents, is the hamburger steak sandwich, the meat for which is kept ready in small patties and cooked while you wait on the gasoline range. Gasoline range just doesn't sound very appetizing to me, but whatever. Okay, so even though the origin is unclear, hamburgers have been advertised in U.S. newspapers from New York to Hawaii since at least the 1890s. And the invention of the hamburger has been attributed to a bajillion people over the years. There's nobody really knows who the inventor was. And, White Castle. And I believe White Castle is the earliest hamburger or burger chain. They trace the origin of theirs to Hamburg, Germany, with its invention by Otto Kraus. I'm going to take you through here a few people that were alleged to have created it. One of the earliest claims came from Charlie Negreen, who in 1885 sold a meatball between two slices of bread at the Seymour Fair. Seymour Community Historical Society of Seymour, Wisconsin credits Negreen, now known as Hamburger Charlie. Hi, I'm Hamburger Charlie, with the invention. Not a bad nickname, by the way. Negreen was 15 when he reportedly sold pork sandwiches at the 1885 Seymour Fair so customers could eat while walking. The Historical Society explains that Negreen named the hamburger after the Hamburg steak with which local German immigrants were familiar. It's been debunked, but according to White Castle, Otto Kraus was the inventor of the burger. In 1891, he created a beef patty cooked in butter, topped with a fried egg. German sailors later omitted the fried egg because that's what the Germans do. We don't understand why the egg must be on the sandwich. This is kaputt. The family of Oscar Weber Bilby, that's his real name, man. I didn't make it up. Claims the first known hamburger on a bun that was served in July of 1891 on Grandpa Oscar's farm. The bun was a yeast bun. And in 1995, Governor Frank Keating proclaimed that the first true hamburger on a bun was created and consumed in Tulsa, Oklahoma, calling Tulsa the real birthplace of the hamburger. Here in front of you is a bacon cheeseburger, by the way. This one, this one's kind of interesting because it looks like what you would get if you went to a restaurant. If there's one thing I hate, it's going to a place that serves burgers, and they have a picture of a burger up there that looks like it was created by God, and then they serve you this. Now, if they would just serve you this and not try to glamour up their burger, I wouldn't have a problem. Frank and Charles Menches claims to have sold a ground beef sandwich in New York in 1885. Fletcher Davis of Athens, Texas, claims to have invented the hamburger in the 1880s at a lunch counter in Athens and served a burger of fried ground beef patties with mustard and Bermuda onion between two slices of bread with a pickle on the side. There's a lot of other hamburger steak claims, but nobody cares. Nobody cares. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, Tom, can you tell me about the early major vendors of hamburgers, the people that actually make them, the people in the trenches, working people, people of the land, short order cooks and burger guys and gals? Well, in 1921, and this is, by the way, one of my favorite burgers. I can't get them here in Texas, locally. I think there's a way they will ship them to you in this heat pack. They put it on a plane. I'm not joking, by the way. But I can't get them locally except in microwavable form. And as we've mentioned on the show, other than one of the backgrounds I use here from time to time, I don't own a microwave. I don't believe in microwaved food. I'm not into that, man. In 1921, Wichita, Kansas, White Castle. Yes. Due to some books like The Muckraker by Upton Sinclair discrediting the cleanliness and nutritional value of ground beef, hamburger meat was unpopular with families until until the good people at the White Castle restaurant chain took it upon themselves to market the cleanliness and quality of their food through scientific studies and preparing the food in full view of customers with spotlessly clean buildings. I got to say, I've been to some White Castles that aren't that spotlessly clean, but I will also say that I don't know if it's corporate policy or not, but White Castle waitresses and food workers, the female variety, for some reason wear extra tight uniforms. I'll just leave you to decide how you feel about that on your own. That's between you and your God. Oh boy, Scott Green is in the house. Scott Green believes that a piece of chicken on, two pieces of bread, between two pieces of bread, is a chicken burger. Which, of course, obviously means he's totally insane. He's gone mad. Yes. White Castle was also very, very proactive about reporting in local newspapers how they carefully selected their meat, phrasing, and opened the food experiment department as a test kitchen and quality control laboratory. They marketed and sold large numbers of their 2.5-inch square hamburger sandwiches, now known as sliders, and created 5 holes in each patty, which helped them cook evenly and eliminated the need to flip the burger. What do you think about that? In 1923, Kewpie Hamburgers was the second hamburger chain and peaked at 400 locations before World War II. Many of these were licensed, but not really franchised. Many closed during World War II. Between 1955 and 1967, another wave of restaurants closed or changed names, and in 1967, they went franchise, and currently there are only 5 Kewpie hamburger locations. In 1926, in an act of just scumbaggery, a chain called White Tower Hamburgers opened, trying to capitalize on the White Castle craze. There was an actual chain called Little Tavern in 1927. In 1932, the rip-off and not as good Crystal Burger opened. But in 1936, we got Big Boy restaurants. In 1937, Bob Wyan created the double-deck hamburger at his stand in Glendale, California. Big Boy would become the name of the hamburger, the mascot, and the restaurant. With that little swoopy haircut, Big Boy expanded nationally through regional franchising and sub-franchising, primarily operating as a drive-in in the 50s. They gradually got interior dining and replaced their curb service by the early 70s. Many franchises have closed or operated independently, but the Big Boy Double-Deck Hamburger remains the signature item at the remaining Big Boys. And there's Frisch's Big Boy, and then there's another kind, Carl's Big Boy, some other Big Boy, because the franchisees got in a big argument over something. I can't remember. 1940, McDonald's, San Bernardino, California. Why do I feel like talking like Howard Cosell? 1940, McDonald's restaurant, San Bernardino, California. Richard and Maurice McDonald. Their introduction of the speedy service system, which is really pretty well shown in the movie, what's it called? It's the movie with Michael Keaton in it, The Founder, it's called. And they show that speedy service system in 1948 established the principles of modern-day fast food. The McDonald brothers began franchising in 1953. In 1961, Ray Kroc stole the company from the brothers for $2.7 million and a 1.9% royalty. As we can see here, hamburgers are frequently mass-produced. They're round. Some fast food chains, such as Wendy's, and by golly, I loves me a Wendy's. Man, those Wendy's burgers, they are incredibly good. I love Wendy's. They have square burgers. Yeah. You can order them rare, but not many fast food restaurants are going to do that because they don't want to get sued. You can get a medium well or well done, but a lot of fast foods don't even offer that option. The McDonald's fast food chain sells the Big Mac, one of the world's top-selling hamburgers, with an estimated 550 million Big Macs sold every year in the United States. Other fast food chains, like Burger King, Hungry Jack's is what they call it in Australia. You know why? Because Australia always has to have some dumb, stupid other name for the same thing we have here. And then they have to give it other dumb, stupid options that we don't have, or they don't go by Australia. We're the burger nation. They're not the burger nation. Who wants a koala burger? Nobody. That's who. A&W, Culver's, Gilman's favorite. Whataburger. Oh, we have Whataburger. It's a very Texas thing. And by the way, for those of you in the state of Texas watching, they have the Monterey Melt back. The Monterey Melt is this, it's a Whataburger, but it's got Monterey Jack cheese on it, and then it's got pieces of red and green pepper, little tiny dice, and then, never mind. Carl's Jr. or Hardee's, Wendy's. Oh, I love Wendy's. Love Wendy's. Jack in the Box, Crystal Burger, which I'm mentioning only out of protest, White Castle, Harvey's, Hessburger, Supermax, Shake Shack, In-N-Out Burger. Look, let me just tell you something about In-N-Out Burger. In-N-Out Burger is a good burger. I'm not going to say that it's not a good burger. It is, but it's way overhyped. Way overhyped. Five Guys, Fat Burger, Burgerville, Backyard Burgers, Lick's Home Burger, Roy Rogers, Smash Burger, Sonic, loves me some Sonic, Fuddruckers, Red Robin, Johnny Rockets. Some restaurants offer elaborate hamburgers. I'm talking about they totally trick up their hamburger, man. Like this one here. Look, how are you supposed to eat that? You know, that's just tricking up your hamburger. You're not supposed to trick up your hamburger. There's a lot of things you're not supposed to trick up, and hamburger's one of them. Don't do that. Bobby's Burger Palace, they trick up all their hamburgers, so don't go there. Go to his other restaurants, but don't go to that one. By the way, hamburgers are also served as dinner in American households and households all over the world. Picnics, parties, tailgates, you know. A high-quality burger is a patty that's made of entirely ground beef. Occasionally some seasonings. Sometimes they call these an all-beef hamburger or all-beef patties to distinguish them from the inexpensive ones that have a bunch of hooey in them. Just a bunch of hooey. By the way, in the 1930s, ground liver was sometimes added to hamburgers because, well, it was the 1930s, it was the Depression, and people just, they lost their heads. You're losing your heads, fellas. Some cooks will put eggs or breadcrumbs in their burgers. I'm fundamentally against that. And like I mentioned earlier, seasonings can include salt and pepper or parsley. Burgers sometimes have onions in them, which I am totally against. They use soy sauce. Some people put a little Worcestershire in there too, a Thousand Island dressing, onion soup mix. A lot of people back home in Indiana put onion soup mix in their burgers, in their patties. There's also a lot of brand name seasoned salts that people use to create their signature burger of choice. Yes, outstanding. Let's get to a few more of your comments here. And before we do, please like, share, subscribe, retweet, notification bell, all those free things you can do. Don't cost you a cent. Don't smash that like button. A lot of people try to be hip and they say, smash that like button. Who wants to smash the like button? You're going to have to use it again tomorrow. Gently depress the like button, please. And then that helps us out with the algorithm, the almighty algorithm. And it doesn't cost you a penny to do it. Plus, we have super chats and memberships. Doc's been here for 8 months, as you saw earlier. We love it when you do that because it helps us pay the bills around here. Daddy needs a new pair of shoes. Anyway, and then also, please, it tells in this, banner right down here, how to turn on your gifted memberships. Somebody might, out of the goodness of their heart, gift you a free gifted membership. And then you get access to that members-only exclusive content that we do on the weekends. It's a bit vulgar, if I do say so myself. It's just a bit vulgar. Not altogether wholesome, if you will. Oh, wow, we got a lot of comments here on Burger Night. I got to rip through these. Like a hot knife through a burger. We got a lot of people saying hi. I'll just start off with people saying hi, people saying hi, people saying hi, people saying hi. We do have the most cheerful chat room on the internet. It's verified by independent sources. People saying hi, 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 people saying hi. Well, no, that's Funky Bronco. He's drunk, and he's pushing it. The Wolf says burgers are not only great to eat, but also make great self-defense projectiles. There's a whole legend around Wolf and bags of cheeseburgers. Wow. Gilman says Wendy's has always been consistent on the freshness. And for a fast food burger, Wendy's gives you a lot of burger. There's a lot of grease on a Wendy's. A Wendy's double with ketchup, pickle, ketchup, pickle, mustard, and mayo. Oh, and cheese. Let's see here. Gene says, I like the basic burger, rare and thick. Now, that's a good burger. That's a damn fine burger. I don't want to get into the whole Funky Bronco. I'm just so tired of his drunken side conversations that it's gotten a bit ludicrous, actually. Metal Maiden Vicky says, I agree about the chicken sandwich being correct. No such thing as a chicken burger. The reason that you agree, Metal Maiden Vicky, is because you're sane. You're a reasonable person. If they were to take a chicken breast and grind it up and turn it into a patty, then I might say that's a chicken burger. But just a chicken breast on it, no. No. Metal Maiden Vicky says, I had a buffalo burger at an Indian powwow once. It was just okay, a bit rough and chewy, but not bad tasting. That's kind of describes buffalo in general. Metal Maiden Vicky says, however, no need for me to ever have another one again. Right. I came, I saw, I conquered, I left. Wolf says, I use a filet mignon for ground burgers. Filet mignon's what he uses for his ground burgers. Oh, yeah, the Wolf gets high-quality meats. I mean, Vicky says, Wolf, yum. I buy the ribeye burgers at the store. They are really good. Who doesn't love an Angus burger? Lucas Malago says, okay, now, Indian powwow, turmeric, or peyote Indian? The peyote Indians. Tim Jenkinson from across the pond says it's a good job they didn't eat them on the Hindenburg. Flame-grilled Hindenburgers would have been so popular. My burger, it's bursting into flames. It's one of the worst catastrophes of all time. Oh, the humanity. It's burning now, bursting into flame. Massive smoking wreckage. Doc says, hail Wolf, Metal Maiden Vicky, Gene 1313, Gilman, Roller Skated, Texas Girl, and hail to you, Doc. Hail to you, Doc. Wolf says, the German sailors replaced the egg on their hamburger with German chocolate and methamphetamine known as pervitin. By the way, I've been approached by a German drug manufacturer and confectioner, and they would like to be the Tom Gulley Show to be the official show of pervitin. I'm mulling it over. Metal Maiden Vicky says, you just reminded me of the Eddie Murphy McDonald's skit. His mom made them at home and gets out an egg, and then he's like, "What do you got an egg for?" Something about adding green peppers and onions in it too, and it's falling apart. And then she puts the real Wonder Bread on it. McDonald's doesn't make it like that. Well, I make it like that. And then you're done, and he's got this big greasy ball of bread and meat. That's a very funny bit by Eddie Murphy. People saying hi. Ya Crispy Vivo says you need to call Mr. Burgers and have him on the show. I can't handle Mr. Burgers. Well, I can, but it depends on where he's at on his, you know what I mean? When he's up here, well, no. When he gets down here, then yes. Plus, Mr. Burgers did something in his apartment. You all that know Mr. Burgers know what he did to his bed linens and mattress and sink. And I can't have that on my show. I just can't. People saying hi. Scott Green says beetroot is the best burger add-on. I forgive you for being Australian, Scott. I do. I really do. But beetroot, really? Really? Beetroot? Please. I grow wary of being on camera. So there's a picture of a delicious burger on the, I guess about 4 or 5 years ago, the, big craze sensation, ciabatta bread. Everybody was loving them some ciabatta bread back then. I don't know why. People saying hi. People saying hi. Doc said, I'm the real inventor of the burger. I did it in 1815. Well done. And we owe you a debt of gratitude, Doc. That's for sure. Gilman says, the perfect burger is from a gas or charcoal grill. I think we'd all say it would be charcoal. We don't want the gas grill to get the gas thing on it. The only problem with charcoal grills, some people put too much lighter fluid on, and then you taste the lighter fluid. So people saying hi. Doc says, Wolf, are you saying it goes on and on and on? It goes on and on and on. And Julian Caesar says, hello, greetings, Gully Heads. The three, I think, officially sanctioned are Gully Heads, Gully Gang, and, the show's favorite, Gullerinos. Gilman says White Castle is a 2 a.m. visit. It can be, and it is for many people. I should have included the pictures of me when I graduated from college. The first place I went, cap and gown, still on, was the White Castle in Danville, Indiana. And I ordered me up probably 10 or 15 White Castles, ate 5 or 6 of them there in the car, and then went about my freshly minted college graduate way. Doc is saying hi to folks. People saying hi. People saying hi. Tom, the world believes that. Nobody believes your chicken burger nonsense. Nobody. The entire world looks askance at Australia because of your ridiculous chicken burger position. People saying hi. Metal Maiden Vicky says White Castle puts little onions right in their hamburgers. Yuck. No, they don't. They're not in the burger. They're on the burger, I think. White Castle also steams their burgers. That's why they have the 5 holes on them, but those 5 holes go down on little metal prongs, and then they're steamed. Metal Maiden Vicky says, Lucas, peyote or turmeric? Unfortunately, not at the Indian powwow I attended with my mom. It was at Bear Mountain in New York. Roller skater Texas girl just smiling and burgering. Hey, I saw a video of roller skater Texas girl recently. Get this. She's on a city street roller skating backwards at incredibly high speed. Like, freaked me out, high speed, backwards. And then she comes to a sliding 20 or 25 foot stop. That's how fast she was going on one leg again while going backwards. She's a stud at roller skating. Gilman says White Castle is a love or hate. I totally agree. The Wolf says Big Boy comes to town, throws his weight around, leaves without a sound. Big Boy. Scott Green says, send me the StreamYard link. I need to set the record straight. Scott, what happened the last time I sent you the StreamYard link? I welcomed you to the show for hours, and then you chose to put the StreamYard suffix in the chat. Now, what I'm going to do later, Scott, is I'm going to open the phone lines, and I welcome you to do that. But there'll be no sending of a StreamYard link today. You're still on StreamYard link probation. You will eventually get off StreamYard link probation, depending on how you act on the phone. And then I will entertain gladly, even today, gladly entertain on the phone your ridiculous chicken burger argument. Doc says I could go for a triple Whopper right about now. I know I'm making myself really hungry myself. Julian Caesar says Wendy's will sell them rare because the patties are not frozen. Frozen patties don't seem to cook up well unless you cook them to near cardboard. Mr. Burgers is here. He says A&W has different names for their burgers in Canada. A lot of chains do that. They, the Royale with cheese. Come on, please. They don't have the metric system. They have the metric system. They don't have the Baconator. Baconator's good. Freddy's is good, but not fast food. Melmain Vicky says truck stops make the best damn cheeseburgers. You get them in that special food foil. You know what I'm talking about, not regular foil. They also use that foil for hot dogs. Yes, I call it delicious foil. Lucas says, I do like that. Melmain Vicky drops the hard R in turmeric. Melmain Vicky says, when I was at the University of Tampa for my freshman and sophomore years there, was a big boy in downtown. It was always a very special day when we would walk to town, go to Walgreens, and have lunch there. Walgreens had a great lunch counter, and they had a mean hamburger. Julian Caesar says you can put onions in the burger, but they have to be caramelized in bacon grease first. Ooh, anything in bacon grease, count me in. People saying hi. Gene 1313 says, Vicky, I live near Bear Mountain. Well, the Tom Gulley Show brings people together. Gilman says the mom and pop greasy spoons restaurants have the best burgers, but they're almost extinct. People saying hi. Doc says gifted memberships are only 5 shillings. A mere 5 shillings. Yes, we haven't gotten any super chats or memberships yet today. Just saying. I'm just saying, if we were making more money on the show, I wouldn't have to get my own Coke out of the koozie and then put it in this, and we would probably have branded Tom Gulley Show koozies. And I got to redo my merchandise page. I've been saying that for like 6 months now. It hasn't happened. I got to create a Scott Green T-shirt for our show. Metalmaid Vicky says Wendy's does have good just cheeseburgers. Boat is here. Says happy to be here. Love you. Love the show. Right back at you, Boat. Chef is in the house. We love it when he's here. People saying hi. People saying hi. Julie Z says yum ribeye burger. Just the right amount of fat, and fat is flavor. Oh, Metalmaid Vicky says who is Mr. Burgers? Mr. Burgers is somewhat of an internet celebrity. He's followed by many, 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 many people. He's done many things online that people have talked about and continue to talk about for years and years and years. Some of those things include unswallowing, that's the nicest way I can put it since we're talking about food, about a half a gallon of orange juice. Just, Ralphing up and other things. He's a vibrant internet personality, well celebrated by many, many programs of note. Yeah, Crispy Vivo says, I just spoke to him and he's fine with the hamburger talk. Do you want me to send you his number? No, that's okay. Not right now. I'll open my phone lines when I'm done with tonight's exciting presentation, which, by the way, has a lot more left. And I have all these chats to get through. People saying hi. People saying hi. Julian Caesar says, why do you have to show all these amazing burger pictures? Now I need to eat food. Me too. Harold, eat your beets. Julian Caesar says, stop trying to make Gullarinos happen. Gullarinos was the first one, Julian. I'm not trying to make it happen. It's already happened. I didn't even come up with it. Chef says, I like my White Castles with raw onions, no pickles, and I add ketchup. Okay. I always get the cheese on a White Castle because you need something binding in that sandwich. Otherwise, it's on a rocket sled right out of your body. Metalman Vicky says, I used to be right in the burger last time I was in one. They used to be right in the burger last time I was in one, but that was a few decades ago. You might be right, but I don't think so. Because when you get them out of the box, there's always some onions that fell off the burger in there, a couple of them. Fear not, they give you so many onions, it's not even funny. No one even thinks about Australia. You're correct, Wolf. Doc says, there's an Australia? Apparently, it's a rumor. It's kind of like Antarctica. Oh, no, there is an Antarctica. It's like Atlantis. The Wolf says, Roller is obviously the queen. She is. She is. Scott Green says, you're just scared I have chicken burger evidence. This show is a farce. Scott, you always have these. Look, crazy people always think what they're saying is the truth. They can't be convinced otherwise. That's what makes them crazy. Rent Guy says, did we do the Connecticut steam burger? We did not do that. We did not do that. But thank you for making us aware of it. Julian Caesar says, everyone loves Australia. It's so far away. Its absence makes the heart grow fonder. No, we didn't. Let's see. You'll eventually get off, giggity. That's right. Metalman Vicky says, Jean, do you? She lives near Bear Mountain. I'm telling you, she does. Scott Green says, a chicken burger, also referred to as a chicken sandwich in the United States. Who invented the burger? Nobody knows. Who is known for the burger? Who eats more burgers? We're the burger nation. You can try and dispel that all you want. You can't. And that's just another one of the jacked up Australian dumb names for things that everybody knows aren't correct, except Australians. You persist. Metalman Vicky's people saying hi. Scott Green says, chicken sandwiches, I mean. That's okay. Scott says, I won't use Skype. That service isn't secure anymore. They have shut it down. No, they haven't. I will prove that just in minutes. And then you'll claim something else. You're like an enigma wrapped in a riddle surrounded by a mystery. You just fail to. By the way, the last time you were here, you said that my frame rate was going kablooey, and it wasn't, which I knew at the time, but I went back and double checked. And you know, Scott, how I hate watching my show. Hate it. Even more than you people hate it. If indeed such a thing is possible. Scott says, Scott's main intent, and we're not mad at him, but you've all noticed Scott's main intent is to make everything about him. Scott says, so if I'm not getting the StreamYard link, I'll just put my thoughts in chat. That's perfectly acceptable. Metal Main Vicky says, okay, thanks for the explanation. You're welcome for the explanation. And good day to you. Scott says, you are wrong, Tom. All right. I don't like to do this on the show. I could go into YouTube and create an actual poll, which I would prefer to do. Maybe I should just do that. Maybe I should just go into YouTube right now and create a poll and ask the room whether they think, and we would get a quick vote on this, Scott, and you would be, I'm not even going to do it because I know everybody here other than yourself and any other person that might have wandered in from Tasmania or Australia or Papua New Guinea or one of those places. We would all say, no, a chicken sandwich is not a chicken burger. Excuse me. It's just not. Doc says, if fat is flavor, I must be really delicious. Scott says, I'm just trying to help you. I know you are. I know you're always just trying to help me. Scott says, the think that defines a burger is the temperature in the bun. Oh, how wrong you are. Scott Green says a buffalo burger is a burger. No, it's not. A burger is a ground beef patty. That's a burger. A buffalo burger is a buffalo burger, but it's not a burger. No. Cold sliced meat on sandwich bread is a sandwich. That's not true either. That's not true either. Because many sandwiches are served hot. Many sandwiches are served hot. They have melted cheese on them, for the love of Mike. Chef says, I wish that we could send you pictures as you are live. I wish that's true. I wish you could too. Technically, I suppose you could, but I'm up to my elbows here. I'm in the weeds, to use restaurant terminology that the chef would understand. The Wolf says, that is correct, Doc. Gators would find you delicious. Oh, boy, the lovely and talented Metal Maiden Vicky has given us a $1.49 super sticker. And for that, she will receive the point. Yes, the point, the highest honor that can be bestowed upon a viewer of the Tom Gulley Show. Let's show you that other good burger for a second here. Scott Green says, thanks, Metal Maiden Vicky. Doc says, Wolf gators will eat anything, but they will especially eat things that are delicious. Village Gator Texas Girl says, you're too kind, Wolf. Gilman said, Toastus brioche bun is best for any type burger. The bun is essential. Scott Green says the rest of the world calls them chicken burgers. No, they don't. They don't. And if they do or did, they would be wrong. And you can associate with them in your deep and abiding, shameful, embarrassing wrongness. Scott says, the frame rate is fine today, by the way. Well, thank you. It was fine the other day, too. The Wolf says, yes, but they will find you delicious, Doc. They really will. Rent Guy says, you people. Tom Gulley. I've said you people. I love you people. How about that? Try to turn that into something bad. Scott says, well, there's more Americans in here. Of course. It's a good show. Wolf says, Gil, I like the pretzel bun. Pretzel bun, very popular. Scott Green says, you pull the world and you will lose. I don't have the ability to do anything to the world. Scott says, did you just know? I did not. I did let out a little burp, though, that I will admit, and I apologize. Gilman says, me too. He likes the, oh boy, look at this. Metal Maiden Vicky. Wow. Thank you so much for the additional super sticker. And of course, you're going to get the point again. In fact, in this case, we're going to give you the full point without banner and without super chat designation. That's a clean, that's what we call the full point. That's a clean point. That's a, man, 88 and out the gate. That's a clean one. In fact, while we're on it, Julian Zeezer has gifted a membership. You guys in YouTube will have to tell me who got the membership. I'm always interested in knowing. And please put so-and-so got the membership. Don't just put their name, because it'll confuse me, because as we all know, I'm an older gentleman, and I'm easily confused. Very easily confused. I'm super easily confused. Highly confused. Let's get the banner back up there so we can keep making a little do-re-mi here today. Let's see. A burger with German chocolate bar would be great. American cheese does melt the best. Well, it melts the best, but I don't like the taste of American cheese. It's like bland and not good. It's got to be cheddar or Monterey Jack or something. Scott Green said, I will send you lots of pictures on Discord that you can put up on the show. Yeah, because Discord is so kind to my Mac. I'm still recovering from just last night when I went into Discord. And even to get into Discord, I'd have to click the button, and then installing 9,000 of 9,000 updates. I was just in here last night. A manwich, Sandwich is a sandwich, but a manwich is a meal. You got that right, Wolf. Metalman Vicky says, Gilman, I had a chicken sandwich the other day with melted Swiss, some ranch on a brioche bun, and holy crap, it was delicious. And they didn't call it a chicken burger either. Why? Because number one, they make good sandwiches. Number two, they're not crazy. Scott says, no, it was not fine the other day. Well, you go back and look at it there, champion. I did. I double checked. I wrote down and by the way, I wrote down the time designation and I went right there. I could see it in the live chat reproduction. You just, maybe it's you. Maybe your Australian chicken burger router didn't work right. You ever think of that? Anyway, Doc says, welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Scott Green says, they even call them chicken burgers in Canada. They call ham back bacon in Canada. We're not going to go by them. Gilman says salmon burgers are not real. You got there. Oh, boy, Chef gifts 5 Tom Gulley Show memberships. Well, of course, the chef, who's a close friend of several members of the Gulley family, he's getting with the full point. Oh, man, thank you so much, Chef. That is highly appreciated. Hey, Hepcat, that's thank you for doing us a solid. Let me know who got those, by the way. I'm always interested in who got them. I'm going to show you guys burgers being made. Don't see any chicken patties in there. Julian Caesar says, no more burger talk. I'm getting too hungry. Only talk about rice cakes from now on. Yes. Bird seed and crackers with celery. Melmain Vicky says, pretzel buns are good, but too much, in my opinion. I do like the big pretzels you can order at restaurants now with dipping sauces. Anything with a dipping sauce is probably pretty good. Renke says, that was not a burp. It was. It was right after I took a drink of soda. Think what you want. Roll the tape back. Knock yourselves out. Go to town with that. I encourage you to. Metal Baby Vicky says, why? Wow, I thank you, Tom. No, thank you. You did all the work. Caddy Daddy's here. He says, I'm late. Did I miss Juicy Lucy talk? No. People saying hi. Scott Green says, I agree with you there, Tom. American cheese is trash. It is. You know the trash. Hey, Kim, laughing at the manwich comment. Wolf, those are tasty. They are, but they are also not burgers. My computer runs Discord fine. Maybe you need to upgrade. I'm not talking about Discord. Oh, when I was talking about Discord, you, I don't believe, have a Macintosh. Everyone from Jared to Jesse says Discord is rotten on Macintosh computers. So, and I don't care if it was rotten on nobody's but mine. It's rotten on mine. The frame rate was shocking live. Well, you can say that, but nobody else complained except one other person. Just the 2 people that I might suspect from time to time. And maybe you guys were just having problems. I'm not God. I can't tell what's happening on everybody's computer. Chef says, I'm sorry, everybody. I have to go say goodnight. Gracie, everybody. Good night, Gracie. Hey, by the way, Chef, thank you again for the gifted memberships. Very much appreciated. Scott says, nah, I wasn't the only one saying it. You and Stella, that was it. Period. Finito. End of sentence. I know you're trying to make it about you. Rice cakes. Have a good one, Chef. Wolf says, be careful, Metal. You have been filled with explosive power. Yes, from the Ball State Power Ring. Scott Green says, you fry the chicken breast for a chicken burger. Whatever, man. Good night, Chef. Coach is here. He says, I'm late as well. Hello to all my friends. And, oh, hey, Tom. Wolf says, hello, Coach. Scott Green says, you're not going to win this, Tom. I've argued this and won with Jesse for years. I've seen you argue it with Jesse, and you've been routed every single time. Scott says, yeah, because your audience doesn't care about quality. Well, not in programming, but everything else they are. I care, Tom. Yeah, I bet you do. I just bet you do. Who got those free gifted memberships, by the way? That I'd like to know. It's a bit ironic when people that hate me, who subscribe to the show so they can be more effective at hating me, get the gifted memberships, you know. I got them with all my alts. Scott, I don't think it would be bad if you got one at all. In fact, I would, and I don't think you hate me. You're not one of those people. I know you like to think everything's about you. It's not. Number one, I don't think you hate me. Number two, I would be happy if you got a gifted membership for free. I would very much like that. It is all about me. You're right. It is strawberry. You know, I bet you're wondering how much burgers cost. Well, I'll tell you, according to Bloomberg News, the average price of a fast food restaurant burger in the United States increased about 16%. And I've noticed this between 2019 and 2024, reaching $8.41 in the second quarter of 2024. Specifically, the iconic Big Mac at McDonald's cost $5.29 during the same period, a 21% price increase over. There was another burp because I'm drinking zero products, which are really carbonated. And I am sorry about that. It's gross and I shouldn't have done it. I feel bad. It's considered a compliment in some cultures. Safety. Raw hamburgers may contain harmful bacteria that can produce foodborne illnesses such as E. coli. Due to the occasional initial improper preparation of the meat, that's when the E. coli happens. So the USDA recommends to cook your burger at an internal temperature of 160 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 71 degrees Celsius for those of you that don't have normal temperature measurements. But cooking it like that, that's considered well done. So a lot of people like rare or medium rare. So there are other burgers that can be cooked that are made with patties, not contiguous pieces of meat or fused pieces of meat, patties. For example, a turkey burger uses ground turkey meat. Buffalo burger uses ground meat from bison, as Metal Maiden Vicky was kind enough to tell us. Veggie burgers, I'm not even going to talk about because veggie burgers are an abomination to man and God. They are. Let's talk about steak burgers. Now, the steak burger for me is Steak and Shake. That's the steak burger. That's the steak burger. This is a steak burger right here, by the way, though. You know, it's a burger containing steak. It goes back to Gus Bell, Steak and Shake, 1934. In sight, it must be right. Take home a sack. Yep. He devised a higher quality hamburger and offered it as a steak burger to customers at the company's first location in Normal, Illinois. That burger used a combination of ground meat from the strip portion of a T-bone steak and a sirloin steak. Steak burgers are a primary menu at the Steak and Shake restaurants, and the company's registered trademarks include Original Steak Burger and Famous for Steak Burgers. They even have a prime steak burger at Steak and Shake made of choice grade brisket and chuck. Brisket and Chuck, of course, a very well-known soul music group from the 1970s here in the United States. In other places, including Australia and New Zealand, a steak burger contains a whole steak, not ground meat, because they're savages. They don't get it. It's not a burger unless you grind it up. Jeez. We talked about the toppings, you know. We did. The hamburger, the burger, is considered a national dish of the United States. You got your fast food hamburgers as a category, and then individually prepared burgers made in homes and restaurants category. Very different things. Yeah. Many fast food restaurants have standard toppings. In other words, you're just going to get that on it unless you make a special order. Restaurants may offer hamburgers with multiple meat patties, doubles, triples. In-N-Out once sold a sandwich with 100 patties called 100 by 100. They have pastrami burgers in Salt Lake City, Utah. A patty melt is a patty, sauteed onion, and cheese between two slices of rye bread. The sandwich is then buttered and then fried. Yes. There you go. How about sliders? Who doesn't like them a slider? Slider is a tiny square hamburger patty served on an equally small bun, usually some diced onions on there. They're called sliders, according to the earliest citations, because the name originated aboard the U.S. Navy's ships due to how greasy burgers slid across the galley grill as the ship pitched and rolled. It's the truth. Other versions claim the slider originated from the hamburgers served by the flight line galleys at military airfields, which were so greasy they... Hey, can we get into something that I'm not going to go through burgers in France and Mexico and the United Kingdom. I will pause for Australia, since we have an Australian in the chat room, which you can probably tell from the aroma. Fast food franchises sell American-style fast food hamburgers in Australia and New Zealand. The traditional Australasian hamburgers are usually bought from fish and chip shops or milk bars rather than chain restaurants. These traditional burgers are becoming less common as older-style fast food outlets decrease in number. The hamburger meat is almost always ground beef or mince. They call it mince. Over there, it's called mince. They just have a dumb name for everything, don't they? Mince also describes the way they walk. They commonly include tomato, lettuce, grilled onion, and meat as a minimum in this form. That's what, look, Australians have this thing called a plain hamburger, which often also includes a slice of beetroot, which just beets are bad enough. Why would anyone want the root? It's just gross, silly. Optionally, it can include cheese, beetroot, pineapple, a fried egg, and bacon. If all of these optional ingredients are included, it's known in Australia as a burger with a lot. Give me a burger with a lot. In Australia and New Zealand, as in the United Kingdom, the word sandwich is generally reserved for 2 slices of bread from a loaf with stuff in the middle. Unlike in American English, where a sandwich is fillings between 2 pieces of any kind of bread. Any kind. And in America, burgers are generally not considered to be sandwiches, but even that's kind of nebulous. It's like a form of sandwich. The only variance between the 2 countries' hamburgers is that New Zealand's equivalent to the lot, give me a burger with the lot, often includes a steak. Condiments regularly used are barbecue sauce and tomato sauce. The traditional Australasian hamburger never includes mayonnaise. The McDonald's McOZ or McOz burger is partway between American and Australian style burgers, having beetroot and tomato in an otherwise typical American burger. No longer part of the menu. Likewise, McDonald's in New Zealand created a Kiwi burger, simply similar to a quarter pounder, but it features salad, beetroot, and fried eggs. They just have to trick everything up. Now, over there, Burger King, and the logo is nearly identical. Instead of saying Burger King, it says Hungry Jack's. They have an Aussie burger. It's got tomato, lettuce, onion, cheese, bacon, beetroot. Because, you know, what's a meal without a little beetroot? Ketchup, and a meat patty, while adding a pineapple is an upcharge. They ought to triple the cost to create that abomination. It's essentially a burger with a lot, but uses the standard HJ circular breakfast egg rather than the fully fried egg, is used by the local shops. Denmark, hamburger in 1949. It was called a boff sandwich. It was called a boff sandwich, Tom. Haven't you ever seen a Danish hamburger? It's much better than American hamburger, Tom. I won't get into East Asia. We all know they're going to trick up their burgers. Let me tell you about a couple unusual burgers. In May 2012, Serendipity 3 was recognized as the Guinness World Records holder for serving the world's most expensive hamburger, the $295 Le Burger Extravagant. At $499, the world's largest hamburger, commercially available, weighs 185 pounds, 84.3 kilograms, for those of you who don't have regular measurements. And it's sold at Malley Sports Grill and Bar in Southgate, Michigan. Called the Absolutely Ridiculous Burger, takes about 12 hours to prepare. It was cooked and adjudicated on May 30th, 2009. A $777 Kobe beef and marine lobster burger topped with caramelized onion, brie cheese, and prosciutto was reported available at Le Burger Brasserie inside the Paris Las Vegas casino. On August 3rd, 2013, the first hamburger from a meat lab grown from cow cell stems was served. Let me say that again. On August 5th, 2013, the first hamburger from a meat lab grown cow's stem cells was served. The hamburger was the result of research in the Netherlands led by Mark Post at Maastricht University and sponsored by Google's co-founder, Sergey Brin. And finally, $100 hamburger, slang term. $100 hamburger is an aviation slang term for a general aviation pilot needing an excuse to fly. A $100 hamburger trip typically involved flying a short distance, less than 2 hours, eating at an airport restaurant, and flying home, hence the term $100 hamburger. And that really is all I have to tell you about the burger. Yes. Let's see here. That's all I have to tell you about the burger. And now let's get to more of your comments, shall we? Scott Green says, I'm like your best friend. No, the wolf is. I've known the wolf for 41 years. You are a Johnny come lately. You're a Scotty come lately. Scott said, I got one last month. What, a Hungry Jack's or whatever, a beetroot ice cream sundae, since everything's got to have beetroot in it. Julian Zezer says, I've seen Scott's heroic-looking picture in the airport, and I think it really is all about him. Maybe at the airport. That might have been a burp, but the one before wasn't. Scott, you don't know what's happening with my body. I know you like to fantasize about what's happening with my body, but you don't know what's happening with my body. You're a half a world away from me. Thanks, half a world. Let's see here. The wolf says, Scott, I don't care what anybody says about you. You are small, but a real stick of dynamite. He is not quick. He is not quick-footed. He's not athletic. He does not have explosive speed. He's not explosive. He's not a speed merchant. He's not wiry with thick cords of muscle. Caddy Daddy says, I always prepare my meat. I bet you do, brother. People saying hi. Scott says, we call them steak sandwiches, actually. They are the exception. The wolf says, technically, meat burgers are veggie burgers since cows eat grass. I don't know. No. That's like saying, technically, these hamburgers are veggie burgers, because seafood burgers, because I fed my cow some seafood. It's not the way it works. And not all cows eat grass. How about that? Some of them are grain-fed. How about that? I know, you'd probably say it's still a vegetable, but still. Technically. I don't buy that argument. That's crazy talk. Mainly because they say steak sandwiches on sandwich bread. Who cares what they do over there? Gilman says, I ain't no gizzard. I'm going to Terhune. Good night. Hey, Gilman. Sometimes boys get a little confused. Do you have any problems with Lord or Rafe? You just let me know. My boy's got something to say to you. Hey, this man's got a job to do. Now, I best believe you better make your way on out of here. Lloyd Butcher. I'm Lloyd Butcher. Scott Green said, you will eventually call them chicken burgers. You can't stop globalization. Oh, we've stopped it many times before. That's why we don't have the metric system, cowboy. Positive Patriot says, hey, Tom. Hey, Paz. Patty Melt also has a podcast. Really? I don't know Patty. Caddy Daddy. Middleman Vicky says, I don't like a lot of stuff on my cheeseburgers. Cheddar and sometimes bacon. I add salt, pepper, and sometimes ketchup. I used to get American cheese all the time, but they are just processed crap. It's crap. I don't know. I don't like any. You know what's even worse than American cheese is white American cheese. It's like, is there even cheese on this sandwich? Is there even anything on it? The wolf says, hello, Paz, chicken burgers. You can be a fan of your incorrect name all you want. I'll publicize it here. I tend to agree with Tom that Monterey Jack is like the perfect all-around cheese. It is really good. I like the real cheddar that's been melted. Sometimes they put it on the sandwich in a scoop, like it's a scoop, like a scoop of ice cream about that big, and then you sort of spread it with a knife or fork. Oh, it's got all that cheddar grease in it. Oh, it's great. This is the American Sign Language symbol for cheddar grease. Gene1313 says the best is at a greasy spoon made by a guy missing a finger. There is something about that with the with the paper hat, and maybe you can see his cigarette burning like just out of sight of the window. Mental Maiden Vicky says, first time I had a slider was with my late husband at Dave & Buster's when that place was still pretty new. You know, sliders are also like usually like on special or something, the sliders. And they're pretty affordable, and they're delish. I loves me a slider. Mental Maiden Vicky says, yeah, Monterey Jack is yummy. Lucas Malago says, isn't cheddar on a cheeseburger kind of a hat on a hat? Kind of. Julian Caesar says, Gene1313, do you remember when Wendy's was involved in a scandal when someone found a finger in their chili? Turned out it was a fraudulent attempt at suing Wendy's, and the perpetrators were caught, and they They faced a jury of their peers. I always have to do this when I open up the... Hold on here just a second. There we go. Everything's back to normal now. The Korova Milk Bar. Thanks, Tom. Now the truth comes out. I don't know what truth you're talking about or anything else. Caddy Daddy says, I remember someone from New Zealand getting confused on what constitutes a burger. No surprise here, Caddy Daddy. Scott says the reason they had to use Hungry Jack's is because we already had a place called Burger King here in Adelaide. In the United States, you know what we would have called that place? We would have called it the place we bought and then changed the name to the name we want. That's what we would have done. But you guys know, well, we can't do that. We've got one crappy place in Adelaide. Julian Caesar said, in American, they catch foreign spies because they're the only ones that will actually eat beetroot. Thank you, Julian. I knew there was a reason that we trusted you with watching the Bourne Identity. There's that scene where he sees the guy eating beetroot and he knows he's an evil. The wolf says, I don't care what it's called as long as it tastes good. And in emergency can be used for self-defense. Yes, that bag of hamburgers. Selstern Blue. Okay. Those burgers are satanic. Terry says, ever tried a boiled burger? Never, and I don't think I ever will. That sounds really bad. Is it good, Terry? Maybe it's good. I don't know. I doubt it. There's a nice fast. I like that. I'd go for that right now. Look at that. That's some good-looking stuff there. This one's just too tricked up. I can't hardly show it. This one's got some nice grease glistening on it. Let's leave that one up there. The wolf says, hey, Martha, go get me one of them stem burgers, them stem cell burgers. Terry Nee receiving greetings from across the room. Judy Tester says, oh, cool. Producer Scott's back. Is he producing a show? He's not a producer on this one. But is he producing a show? Or is he doing that thing that like third graders do where they go, I'm the king of Arkansas. I am. And they have a thing in their head that's not really true, but they're not. They just say it and think that means it's true. I'm faster than you. You know, all that stuff. Hello, Judy. Hello, Judy. Julian Caesar says, I've never tried a boiled burger because I've never been in prison. That's funny. Scott says, it's hard for me to produce by text, but Tom is scared. You make one little mistake and Tom hangs it over your head for months. Hey, that's the rough and tumble, laugh in the face of death, live on the razor's edge world of big-time streaming, Scott. If you can't stand the heat, don't come in my kitchen. I demand a lot of my producers, and I give a lot. Scott says, Tom is very difficult to work with. Never said I wasn't. Scott's impossible to work with. What producer would give the suffix of the StreamYard link out to the entire internet? How long do you think you'd have your job doing that? Well, I'll tell you. You will lose the job you never, ever, ever, ever had in the first place if you do something like that. Middleman Vicky says hello. People say hi. People say hi. At least it's American. Yes, at least American cheese is American. The wolf says apparently you don't plan on making violent vegans mad. No, I don't. I don't plan on it, but I don't care about it. People saying hi. Middleman Vicky says white American cheese. Yeah, usually never bought that. Kind of like white chocolate. Nope for me. Exactly. It's like white chocolate. It's like chocolate without any of the benefits of chocolate. Like, I don't know, taste. Wolf says, I'm sticking American cheese, especially from Wisconsin. To each their own. The king of Hamburg was Pope Benedict V. I did not know that. I thought the king of Hamburg was Kevin Keegan or Franz Beckenbauer. After he stopped playing at Bayern Munich, came over here, played for the New York Cosmos, and then went back over and played for Hamburg. Meadowman Vicky says, there was this place in New Paltz, New York, when I was going to college there called J.P. Little's. or JB. And their hamburgers were very small, like White Castle. Sometimes my fraternity brothers would play floor hockey with them. Very comical to watch. Mental Maiden Vicky says, or use them as defense things, like Wolf was saying. Well, Wolf was known for the bag of cheeseburgers. And then they would fly through the sky at people. I am faster than you, Tom. No, I don't think you are. And even if now that I'm 30 years older than you, even if you are right this second, which I don't for a second believe, the Wolf will attest that back in my day, when I was possessed with quick feet, athletic, explosive, a real stick of dynamite, a speed merchant, the Wolf got to see the glory of all of that. To each his own pies and phone lines are open at 972-994-6822. We are still accepting those super chats and memberships if you'd care to do that. And please, well, you can't really look to see how to get your gifted membership now because I put the number up. So Julian just said, when are you going to do a show on fake self-defense items like throwing stars and nunchucks and mini burgers? Maybe if I can get Phil Elmore on, I can dispel all of that, because Phil Elmore would tell you that those things are actually real and they do work, and he'd show you how. Scott Green says, sure, maybe back in your day, but now I am much faster. There's no evidence of that. There's no evidence of that. Even in that video, Scott, where you were drunk and you ran around your neighborhood and went into the porta potty and exposed yourself on live streaming video. Oh, sorry. Was I not supposed to mention that? And then also, another reason that you don't get to be the producer, never did and never will. Metal Man Vicky says, I'll never forget the day in middle school when someone threw a meatball parm wedge, at someone else in the cafeteria. However, one of the girl bullies of the school was walking by and got caught in the line of fire. Could have heard a pin drop, I'll bet. I remember she was wearing a white T-shirt too. Man, was she angry. There's nothing like a white T-shirt to show that contrast of stain. I've been watching, and I think I mentioned it on the show earlier this week, this TV series called The Following, which is all just about people getting stabbed all the time and stuff. It's just every show there's 10 people stabbed. And recently there was an episode where the guy that got stabbed had a white T-shirt on, and it just reminded me that contrast is so sort of like, a guy, geez. Scott says, I'm the producer. You don't get to make that call. Like I said, you know what I mean? It's like the third grader that runs up to you with a football under his arm and goes, I'm going to score a touchdown, and then runs past you and then spikes the ball and starts jumping up and down. Yeah, you just got to kind of humor him. It's the same thing with Scott thinking he's the producer. He can say it as much as he wants. It's just, oh, yeah, sure you are. Let's see. The Wolf says, trust me, cheeseburgers are effect weapons. I do. I've seen it, Wolf. Positive Patriot says, those shrunken and nunchucks are no joke, brother. Scott says, this show is on the Pod Awful Network, and Jesse hired me. Is it really on? I don't think it's on the Pod Awful Network. He said he didn't want to have a network. And he can't hire you for my show. I'm sorry. That's just not the way it works. Kenny Dad says, Tom, have you ever had a Juicy Lucy? And by the way, Jesse won't even hire you as a producer for his own show. So what's that tell you? Tim Jenkins says, The Following was really good. It is. You can watch it all, I think, for free on Plex. Terry Nee, thank you so much, Terry Nee, for the 99-cent super sticker. For that, you will get the point. Not the full point without bars or banner, but you'll get this point for 99 cents. What the hey? And I do appreciate the 99 cents very much. Thank you. That's money you could be spending fixing your door, and you chose to donate it to the show. So thank you. It's very, very nice of you. Fight me, pause, says Julian. I can't do that in good faith, brother. Scott Green says, I am a producer on the Pod Awful Show. Check the credits at the end of every show. Again, I'm sure there's a variety of things that Jesse does to humor you, and that's probably one of them. And even if you are there, you're not here. 972-994-6822 is the number to call. Phone lines are open. I'll leave them open here for 5 minutes, and then if we don't get a call, we'll end the show. Okay, me either. Boy, that was the quickest, potentially violent conflict, and then just chill. Wasn't sure if you were being neglected. Thank you, Terry. I am very gratified that you're thinking of me. That's very nice. I'm not even joking. Scott Green says, I am here too. We know you're here. It's obvious. Why would you? That's weird, man. No offense, man, but that's weird. Tim Jenkinson says, I guess he can't be a producer because of the chicken burger thing. Oh, that's just the tip of the iceberg, Tim. That's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so many reasons. First and foremost, he's Australian. All of our labor here on the Tom Gulley Show is American labor. It's for Americans. Oh, let's see here. There's 2 people in this call. It looks like I missed a call. I'll call him back. Let's see. Oh, no, I can't really do that. I've got too many people. Call again, Scott. Call again, buddy. Why does it keeps kicking you for some reason? It's because it's got 2. It says here Scott Green, comma, and then anonymous at the same time. Hi, and welcome to the Tom Gulley Show. You're on the air, kind of.
All right, Tom. All right, we got to settle this once. There's 2 things that we need to.
It's already been settled.
Well, you don't know what I'm going to bring up.
Oh, I know one of the things.
No, well, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
I guarantee you don't.
Okay. Then if I don't know one of the things, then you can't talk about chicken burgers.
All right. So one of the things that I want to bring up is I do know Dank Pods in real life. He also lives in Adelaide. So Caddy Daddy wanted to know that. Yes, I do know Dank Pods. He doesn't live too far away from me. I worked out where he lived because he frequents the cash converters, not too far from here. And so I'm triangulating his location as we speak, and settle down, Kim. You can't.
There's almost nothing that you say is accurate, so we'll take that with we'll give it the attention that it deserves. Tim Jenkinson says, "Yeah, you can't have a criminal as a producer."
I'm not a criminal. I've never been caught.
But you're from Australia, so you're automatically a criminal. It's founded by criminals.
Well, my forefathers were criminals.
You had 4 fathers?
Yeah.
They just, what did they all just, was your mom one of those kind of ladies? You can't tell.
I had 8 grandfathers too.
Okay.
Right. Now, Tom. All right. Chicken burgers, the rest of the world.
You said I didn't know what you were going to talk about.
Well, you didn't know all of the things I was going to talk about. I was going to talk about Dank Pods.
And I said, I know one of the things you're going to talk about. And you said, no, you don't. And I said, then I said, well, then you can't talk about chicken burgers because that's the thing I know you're going to talk about.
And I didn't agree. To that.
Well, your agreement is not necessary. But let's just say I know. Let's just agree that I knew one of the things you wanted to talk about.
Okay. I will agree that you knew one of the things. You didn't know both of the things.
Yeah, I knew one of the things.
Yeah, but you didn't know both of the things.
I didn't know there were both things, but I knew there were 2. I didn't know there were 2 things.
I said two things.
And
You
that's
can go
when I
back to
said I know one of the things that you want to talk about.
right, and I couldn't understand your accent. All right, so now Dangpods. He is a fantastic drummer. He also owns some commercial real estate that he now uses as his set.
Nobody here knows. We're not talking about that
Caddy
today.
Daddy knows who Dangpods is. I'm addressing your audience. I'm
But
here
when
for the
one
people.
person in the audience, that's a chat you guys can have.
Oh, well, hit me up, Caddy Daddy.
Yeah,
All
hit them up. When we
Hit me up.
do, let me tell you about Dank Pods, the show. Then
You should do an episode on Dangpods. I think you would enjoy it.
I'm putting it on the list right now.
You know, he uses his set is just the back of an old iPad cover, a green iPad cover, and that's the whole set. That's all.
Room count is dropping as you speak. Now, do you
want? Yeah, let's address the chicken burger situation.
No, you address it because everybody else that's watching knows what that is and that you're going to say something that's just wrong.
I will concede that in the United States of America, you guys call them chicken sandwiches. But the rest of the world has moved on, has progressed, as we did with the metric system and all kinds of other things.
No,
now
the British still use the...
No, they call them chicken burgers.
No, the British still use the measuring system that we use.
No, the official measuring system of Great Britain is metric. Just because colloquially they use fucking stone or something.
Hey.
What?
Let's just watch the potty mouth.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's a family show.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was a family show.
It's a family show.
You're
Australian. You're just vulgar like that out in public in front of people in mixed company all the time. I don't blame you. It's
I don't get much mixed company in Adelaide, so mixed race that is.
No, I'm just mixed company, men and women, and I'm sure you don't. I'm sure you don't.
Mixed race, yeah.
I'm sure you don't.
All right. Now, it is a chicken sandwich currently in the United States, but in the rest of the world, we have moved on to embracing the cultural variety of chicken burgers and, veggie burgers and all kinds of burgers. If it's in a burger bun, if you're going to a burger restaurant, okay, you're going to a Nordburger, you're going to any.
Never heard of it.
Well, Nordburger. It's a Nord is like the word for simple burger, Nordburger.
No, we don't have that dumb word here.
You don't have the word Nord?
No.
Well, I think it's from somewhere in Europe or something. I don't know, one of those countries. You don't have the word Nord? Okay. You don't know what the word Nord means?
We don't have that here.
Yeah. Okay. So KFC and an American company sells chicken burgers. Also, McDonald's sells them. That's correct. And they sell them as chicken burgers.
We have to sometimes dumb it down for other parts of the world.
You accommodate our eccentricities because you know that if you want to do business with us, it is
an eccentricity. So while we exploit you for money out of your pocket, we will occasionally do things that allow us to bilk you and profit off of you.
Okay, so a fried chicken patty, a fried chicken breast between the burger buns is a chicken burger. That is a fine thing to call it because a chicken sandwich is a different thing. I mean, okay, what would you call? Okay, let's say you go to a local, deli, wherever you might, procure your lunch, your lunch meats or something like that, and you get some cold cuts of meat in between some sandwich, some a sandwich loaf, some lettuce and tomato. What would you call that? That would be a chicken sandwich, right?
In what form am I getting the chicken again?
It's sliced chicken, so it's
simply
sliced chicken from like a chicken loaf.
Chickens don't come in loaves, dude.
They definitely do. 100% chicken meat. Yeah, you can get chicken loaf.
That's processed chicken meat.
Yeah,
We
and
don't
that's
do
still
that.
well, the whole world does
We
it,
don't
man.
do that. Not for that. We don't have our luncheon meats aren't done that way with chicken. If we want chicken,
Well,
we keep it in the meat form, the breast or the drumsticks and all that stuff. We don't turn chickens into blocks of sliced meat. We don't do that. We do it with other stuff. We don't do it with that.
okay, let me see. So thinly sliced chicken meat is not a thing in the US, is that?
You can probably get it, but we would call that a chicken sandwich.
Right. That's a chicken sandwich. And look, I'm looking at it right now. It definitely exists. Plenty of it does exist, in fact. Yeah. Chicken loaf. Like, yeah, it's just sliced chicken. Anyway, I would be super disappointed if I ordered a chicken burger and it came with sliced cold chicken in it, because that would be ridiculous, right? But same as I would be disappointed if I ordered a chicken
Well,
sandwich.
you wouldn't be disappointed here if you ordered a chicken burger and got that, because the first thing they would say is there's no such thing as a chicken burger, except probably in the very rare instance of someone taking chicken meat, grinding it up, and making a patty out of it. Then I suppose you could call it a chicken burger.
This theory. Okay, I tested this theory. 3 out of 4 places that I visited while I was in the United States was happy to oblige.
Your anecdotal evidence is very unconvincing to someone who's been living here longer than you've been alive.
Because you call them a chicken sandwich, so you're just
everyone here does.
You've got because you've got a blind spot, right? But if you go,
we don't
into
have
a
blind
KFC,
spot. What nation has more chickens and produces more chickens than the other?
That's neither here nor there.
No, it is. We're in the chicken business. You guys dabble at it.
No, we
yes. Look at this chicken burgers, a ground chicken patty. We don't need ambiguous foreign lingo gumming up the works. You're darn right.
Caddy Daddy, you go ask your best friend Dank Pods what he would call a chicken burger.
Tim Jenkinson says, as the topic tonight is burgers, it's the perfect time for the subject. And I agree with that. I totally agree with that.
That's the only reason I'm here, Tom. I wouldn't have called in if you weren't spouting this nonsense. And I understand you're attacking me as an Australian, but I'm telling you, as a man that has traveled around the world, it is a worldwide thing that they call them chicken burgers.
There's
it is
so
only
much,
the United States.
There's so much to unpack there. First of all, I'm not attacking you.
You are.
I'm attacking your entire country. It's dubious to me whether you're really a man because you don't call chicken sandwiches the right thing. It's a chicken sandwich too. It's turkey sandwich could be deli slices of hunk of turkey. Yes, that's what I'm saying, Caddy Daddy. You don't have chicken mince there. No, mince is the way certain men walk. That's what we have. That's
so
mince.
Tim's now on my side. We got Dink Tart on my side. All right, well, they're coming out of the woodworks. People are coming out of the woodworks.
Dink says I'm agree with Scott. So
I'll take it.
Well, you can have and then he corrected himself. That's fine. You can agree with him all you want. That doesn't make you right. You guys can agree in wrongness. You guys are in wrongness solidarity.
Okay, so Vicky, if you were to, breach your borders, so to speak, and travel to Europe or Asia or Australia or any of the other continents and order a chicken burger at a restaurant, they would give you what you believe is a chicken sandwich.
Yes.
And I'm okay with you guys calling chicken sandwich as long as you can acknowledge the rest of the world.
I fully acknowledge the rest of the world is wrong.
Okay, is the metric system wrong just because you don't adopt it?
Pretty much, yeah.
It's not wrong because you do use the metric
system. Let me ask you this. Do you guys manufacture your own automobiles in Australia?
Yes, we do. military vehicle.
Oh, but like regular consumer vehicles.
I mean, you can purchase a military vehicle for regular use if you want
But
to.
I'm talking about like we have Ford and Chevy and Honda. Do you guys do that?
And Honda, the Japanese brand Honda.
Yes, many of the world's brands come here to do business and set up manufacturing facilities here, and we welcome them with open arms. I don't recall an Australian auto manufacturer doing that.
An Australian auto manufacturer opening in the US?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes. They've been doing it, by the way, since the early 80s. All of the Japanese companies have been building cars here.
Yeah. I mean, we famously made some of the best cars.
But you don't currently manufacture your own.
Well, because it's not economically feasible.
I can't
the cost of them.
I can't take a country seriously if they don't make their own wheels, man.
We do make our own wheels.
No, I mean wheels. See, that's even it. The car culture is here in the United States. You call a car a set of wheels. You say, "Hey, you got any wheels?" That means we call
That's
the
true.
things
Caddy
that
Daddy is right. Aussie cars were great. That's true.
we call the things that you put on automobiles, traditionally four of them. We call those tires, and we don't spell it with a Y. Incidentally, we also don't have only 5 commercials for all of our TV shows.
Tom, nobody watches commercial TV anyway.
You do.
Only when you're around.
Oh, right. You don't watch Australian rules football or cricket unless I'm around.
Not on the computer. I watch it on the TV where there is no ads.
What do you call your TV?
Just television.
You don't call it telly?
Oh, yeah.
Why do all of your news anchors wear somewhat effeminate pastel colors?
Well, because it's disarming. It makes you, feel like that. They're like your auntie. You don't have any sort of ill will towards.
What was that show I was watching? You guys got over there, Spicks and Specks. That is so racist.
I don't think you're allowed to say that in America. We're allowed to say.
I'm only allowed to say it when I'm calling out a horrifying racist program.
The Utes are made in Australia, but they're not made anymore, Tim. They were, but they're not manufactured anymore.
Not anymore. Nope.
They're now made in Thailand mostly.
Oh,
even the American Utes that we get here are not manufactured.
Where's it made? Where do they make them?
Thailand.
That's just an excuse for you guys to go to Thailand, and we all know why you're doing that. Tim says at least they can't put a tariff on chicken burgers because they don't believe they exist. We believe they exist. It's just wrong. The name is wrong.
How do you feel about the tariffs? You good with the tariffs?
I don't understand why we're doing anything to Canada. It's like, what did they ever do to us? They're our largest trading partner, and the disparity in trade is not that much. It's like, what are we messing with them for? They're a fine, strong ally of ours. And so I don't get that one. And nobody's been able to explain it to me either.
So they're carving out an exception for Australia in the trade because we import more from America than we export to you guys.
Well, we know that.
So they love us over here.
We can only
but we're getting exceptions
import
in the
so
trade
much Vegemite.
We're our best friends. Well, no, because we export mostly like raw minerals to you and steel and shit like that.
Things that we already have.
But we export them to you as well.
It's just we don't want to dig for it. And steel, I don't know why we're getting steel from you because we export tons of steel. We're just
Australia is your greatest ally.
Probably just doing you a favor. No, our greatest ally is probably Canada.
No, not anymore.
Well, that might be true, but they should be, and they have been. We share a 5,000-mile border with them. I have all sorts of agreements.
Drop nukes into like somewhere in the ice or something.
We agree on more than we disagree, and I'm sure this will all blow over, but I don't get it. Moody tried this chicken burger argument and got shut down. Well, you were in favor of Trump, weren't you?
I don't really care one way or the other. It doesn't really affect me.
Dabbled.
I don't get to vote on it, so why would I care who gets in America?
Fast food chicken sandwiches are not ground meat, so therefore not burgers. Exactly, Metal Maiden Vicky. And Metal Maiden Vicky knows everything, and especially about metal. Are you into metal?
I love a good metal. I love metal music.
Yeah, well, she knows more about it than you do.
Well, I don't know about that, but we'll see.
Julian Caesar says, get rid of the value-added tax, Tim, and we'll send you some proper chickens. Yeah, we got great
We don't
chickens.
take American chickens. You guys have like issues with disease in your chickens or some shit.
No, we
at the
don't.
moment. Yes.
The only issue that we have is that, like, tens of thousands of them die when a roof collapses during a blizzard or something like that.
Don't you have like an issue with your eggs or something at the moment?
They're very expensive.
Why are they so expensive?
I think it's that there's more demand than there is supply
No,
currently
they had to
because
kill
a
off
whole
all the
bunch of the
chickens.
chickens got killed. We had this bizarre blizzardy thing happen down in Arkansas in that part of the world, and so these chicken houses that have been there for a while and that aren't built to be they're sturdy, but they're not built for winter, like a lot of snow weight on the top. There was a bunch of accidents.
Actually,
with
eggs
these
are
chickens.
expensive in the United States due to a bird flu outbreak that has killed millions of chickens.
That's
This
part
has
of it
led
as
to
well.
a
That's
shortage
part
of eggs.
That's part of it as well.
Well, that's what I said. You had some disease get outbreak.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that the eggs are bad. It means
No,
there's not
yes,
enough
because they had
chickens to make
kill
the
all
eggs.
chickens.
It's
They
yeah.
had
I
to
mean that
kill
doesn't.
the
But
chickens.
it just means that the eggs aren't bad. It's that there's not enough chickens to make the eggs. Chickens get sick and die from a lot of things.
No, they killed them because they didn't want the disease to spread.
Yeah,
Why do you guys keep your eggs in the fridge?
because we don't like them to go bad.
They don't go bad
Oh,
outside the fridge.
there's no such thing as a rotten egg. Interesting.
They don't go. Okay, do you understand that you do not need to keep eggs in the fridge?
You don't need to keep meat in the fridge if you're gonna eat it right away. But if you want to
No,
extend
eggs
the shelf life
are
of an egg, you
designed-
refrigerate it.
No, it does
Yes.
not change the shelf life of an egg,
Yes,
whether
it
you
does.
refrigerate it or not. No,
Yes,
it doesn't.
does. Yes, it does.
No, it
Yes, it does.
You can. Okay, you go away and do some research on that.
Okay.
But the rest of the world does not refrigerate their eggs. They may refrigerate them by choice because they choose to keep them in the refrigerator.
Well, then that's what we do.
Yeah, but that's not because it increases the shelf life. It's a way to appease the American consumer because they feel like eggs should be something that is
Yes, refrigerating
kept
eggs significantly extends their shelf life and keeps them fresher for longer, ideally within 3 to 5 weeks, compared to eggs stored at room temperature. Boom shakalaka!
That's because you guys clean off the. That's because you guys clean off the exterior.
You asked me
of the-
why, and I told you it's because we would like them to last longer, and they do. So there.
They don't.
Yes, they do. It's just look into it yourself. We actually had eggs on our farm growing up, so I know this
Yeah.
to be true. I know this to
not
be
true.
true. I used to have to go out to the egg house and dodge the rooster
Okay.
that wanted
In
to
America,
peck me to death.
food safety officials emphasize that once eggs have been refrigerated, it is crucial they remain that way.
Yeah.
A cool egg at room temperature can sweat, facilitating the growth of bacteria that could enter the egg through its porous shell.
Yeah, if you change the temperature, then the shelf life is not as extended. That's
All right.
very true.
So,
But refrigerating them significantly extends their shelf life.
So, in other countries other than the United States, we do not wash off the cuticle of the egg, right? So when you purchase an egg, it still has the cuticle. That naturally keeps the egg safe from salmonella. By not removing the cuticle, it also eliminates the need to refrigerate the eggs after they have been laid. The eggs are safe to store at room temperature because the egg naturally protects itself from pathogens. In America, they remove the cuticle.
Safe is different than extending the shelf life. Those are two different issues.
Okay, Vicky, if you do not remove the cuticle in the manufacturing process of eggs, in making them look all pretty, then you do need to refrigerate them if you do remove the cuticle.
There you go. She knows more about metal than you'll ever know. It depends if the egg's washed. Metal says, however you enjoy things, I'm going to keep those eggs out on the counter. Yeah, she got you. Anyway.
Yeah, there you go. Caddy Daddy, Scott is right about the eggs.
Wasn't right about the shelf life. He said no about the shelf life.
It's because you guys removed the cuticle.
You definitively said no. You brought up the cuticle in another Hail Mary attempt to try and reformulate your argument. I said it extends the shelf life, and I was right about extending the shelf life.
Okay, does it extend the shelf life if the cuticle remains on there?
You look that up. I don't have to make your argument for you,
I'm
officer.
telling you, it does not.
Well, I don't believe you until you give me some sort of you looked it up thing.
Would you like? Okay, I'll send it to you. The statefoodsafety.com, is that good enough for you?
Is it Australian?
No, it's just .com.
Sounds Australian to me.
State food safety?
Yeah.
You're also the country that fucking washes your meat.
Whoa. There's no need to use bad language. We're just having a talk here. You're getting really upset about
I'm
eggs.
not upset.
You're very upset about
hot.
eggs, man.
I'm very hot right now, but I'm not upset.
I think you're very upset. I didn't have to resort to any pejorative language just to talk about eggs.
Yeah, you're not hot.
Oh, please. Everybody knows how hot I am.
Anyways, you don't need to wash your eggs.
I didn't say even that you need to wash your eggs.
But you do wash your eggs.
I don't.
Oh, they're done before you purchase them.
Well, I can't be held responsible for that.
You should take it up with your...
Also, I can buy farm fresh eggs that haven't been treated that way. Yes, you can.
You can't.
As a matter of fact, Scott...
You're the one person that can't do it.
As a matter of fact...
I'm saying that the regular Americans can do it, but you in particular cannot.
As a matter of fact, the eggs that we had on our farm and my grandmother's farm, we did not wash. Why would you wash them? You're going to crack them out of the shell to use them to cook. You don't need to wash the outside. You're not going to eat it.
Why do Americans wash their meat?
I don't.
But the CDC in America had to put out a thing saying, do not wash your chicken.
The CDC puts out lots of memos that give people very good practical advice.
But why telling people to,
because we are such a large nation, it is conceivable that there might be a small fraction of the population that occasionally does things that are incorrect. For instance, some people put their bananas in the refrigerator. You should never do that.
Yeah, they go brown.
Well, there's a bunch of reasons, but
you can put them in the freezer if you plan on using them for like banana bread or something.
Well, I wouldn't even do that, but
you wouldn't use them for the banana bread?
Look, a banana loves the climate of the very, very tropical equator. That's why you should never keep bananas in the refrigerator. You messed up my poem. You messed it up. You just want to talk over people all the time.
You'd finished.
No. Play that tape back. Mr. Frame Rate's got a problem.
Your frame rate did have a problem the other day.
For you. For the world, it didn't. If you want to get all globalist about it.
Even if it was just for me, should I not bring it up with the host?
No, you shouldn't. You should check out your own. You should check yourself before you wreck yourself.
I checked myself. I tried 2 different computers. I went around to my neighbor's house and they had the exact same problem.
Yeah. Well, maybe Australia just isn't technically suited for this program. You don't have the infrastructure to properly.
What are you going to do when Skype gets shut down? Isn't it getting shut down very soon?
I don't know.
Yeah, they said that they're canning it in like a couple of months.
Let me see.
They said that they're not providing any security, so IP addresses can be leaked by using Skype now.
Let me see here. Oh gosh, starting in May. The company confirmed on X. Well, what I will do, Scott, and I've done this before. It's not that. First of all, I will be glad because I won't have to pay for the phone number and all of that. But I'm going to look into it. It's the first thing because they may be offering another service or who knows what.
Well, they're saying to use Teams, like that's what they want.
Yeah,
obviously
they're
Skype
not.
doesn't replace Teams.
They're not going to get that. So what I'm going to do is instruct people to become a follower of my Facebook page, and then have people just call me on that Facebook page.
Why don't you just create a Discord server?
I don't like Discord. Discord jacks with my computer because it's a Mac. There's a lot of problems Discord creates for Macintosh computers.
Sure. I mean, Jesse seems to be able to manage, though. Like, I understand that it's not optimal, but...
Well, Jared has problems. I have problems.
Jared's an old man.
Any software that I open up and the next day, every time I open it, there's 6 updates. That's sketchy. Everybody knows how buggy and how unstable Discord is. And so
I use Linux. And Discord runs fine in Linux. So.
Well, I'm just not going to invest in Discord. When Facebook gives a great sound, I've had people guest over Facebook before. And here's the other thing, Scott. I would prefer to grow my Facebook footprint than my Discord footprint.
You're kidding me. The dying platform?
Well, Discord doesn't really get me anything if I have a lot of Discord followers outside of Discord. It's just,
no, but it encourages community.
I don't want to be wrapped up in. I mean, if there's any of 2 platforms that's going to die first, it's going to be Discord. Facebook is relatively popular. It's very popular with people from the demographic that watch this show, and there you are.
Did you see that they're talking about creating fake AI profiles that are actually run by Facebook? They're trialing it at the moment. So, because they're finding that the engagement of the platform is sort of taking a nosedive. So they're going to have these sort of fake people that, post updates and comment on your pictures and stuff like that. Yeah. And
plus Discord is just extra work for me. I don't want to have to tend to the Discord. You know what I mean?
I can start up a Discord for you if you like.
I don't like Discord. It jacks with my computer.
I'll start up a Tom Gulley Discord server. I'll send an invite to all your people, and we can all get it together there. I'll make you a mod. Don't worry about it.
I'm not gonna indulge in that, but you do whatever you want. But I'd rather use Facebook. There's actually a whole bunch of different other ways that you can get calls than having to create a Discord server. A lot. And I don't even know if Discord will be here tomorrow. I know Meta will be. I know Google will be. And there are some advantages to doing it through Google because Google's Google. And they reward you for interaction and things of that nature. But I could do Zoom. There's a million things I could do. And Discord is not going to be. Discord has jacked with my computer too many times.
Well, it's because it's owned by the Chinese. So they're obviously
there's another reason.
Building malware into it or something.
There's another reason. Yeah. Metal, make your own butter. Clarified butter? Clarified butter is the butter, I think, that it's strained of a bunch of stuff, right?
Yeah, and that you don't need to refrigerate.
Well, I think that's fine. That's fine. I don't refrigerate things unless I can extend their life. It's the only reason to refrigerate something. So
that's true. I also don't agree with microwaves either, but I do believe they exist. I don't know why you say you don't believe.
I didn't say. Microwaves. I said I didn't say that. I just don't.
You said you don't believe in microwaves.
I don't. I don't believe in their use, and I don't believe them. For me, I don't think I don't think they make food taste better. The only sort of thing that you can give microwaves a pass on is heating up water really fast. And even that, it doesn't take that much longer to heat it up on a stovetop. It's not like you're saving an hour or something.
They heat up everything very fast. That's what they do.
Right, and they destabilize the molecular thing to do that. So it's like a piece of pizza. If you have a leftover piece of pizza and you microwave
don't
it,
heat up pizza.
It turns into mush. If you put it in the oven for a few minutes, it's crispy and delicious. And that's true with a lot, if not most
Don't
things.
use the whole oven, though. Don't use the whole oven. Get yourself an air fryer, nice and quick. Much quicker than the oven.
We talked about the virtues of an air fryer just yesterday on this program.
And we all agree air fryers are amazing?
They are, but you can't use them for everything.
Yeah, you can pretty much. I mean, all it is just a tiny oven. What can't you use them for?
Soup.
You can't use. I mean, you don't really use an oven for soup.
A stovetop.
Use a stovetop. Yeah, stovetop.
Yeah.
But I'm saying anything you would use an oven for, you can kind of use.
I don't know what they do in Australia, thankfully, but in this country, we have a thing called an oven, generally, that has a stovetop and an oven.
Sure.
So it's the same appliance. So I just go ahead and call it an oven.
But they use up so much energy just heating up the whole oven when you could heat up something much smaller.
Depending, yes.
Yeah.
But now a lot of them are very high efficiency. It's not that difficult to do, and especially if you're not going to heat it up to 500 degrees or something. If it's only
you can get
300 degrees, you're fine.
You know you can get microwaves that include air fryers built in?
No, because I'm never getting a microwave. Tim says, Tom, you should go visit Scott and make a show together. Why would I go over there?
He can't fly. He's scared of flying.
Kind of, yeah. Have you seen what's going on with our planes over here? But mostly,
you're still way more likely to die in a car crash than you are in a plane.
Oh, come on. Everybody says that.
That's true. Statistically, it's true.
Yeah. The thing about a car crash is you're probably going to die instantly rather than have that nice 30,000 foot terror fall. But the thing is, it's not so much of being scared as it is the pain of it to get to Australia. I have no doubt. In fact, I'm being asked to go visit Los Angeles sometime soon. And I don't want to. I don't want to do it. No, I'm not driving the Jag. But if I do that, I'll probably end up just just against my better wishes, going ahead and doing that. But I to Australia, that's, what is it, a 20-some hour flight and probably a layover somewhere and all that. No. And then you got to do it on the way back again. No, thank you. I've been there already. Why do I need to go again? And why do we need to be in the same place to do a show together?
That's true. We can do it over the air. That's fine.
Tim Jenkins says the white Mr. T. No, I'm the American Dennis Bergkamp. Tim Jenkins.
Caddy Daddy, if you come over to Australia, I'll drive you to Bendigo and get the cube together.
I'm gratified that Tim Jenkinson is here because he knows what I mean by the American Dennis Bergkamp. Gene 1313, does this guy need to be right on everything? Yes, he does.
Yes.
He is deep pathological to the point where I kind of have to go, oh, you're right, Scott. Why does it say there's two people here right now? It's not just you. It's you. It says you and anonymous. How did you screw this up? You got a weird connection on this. Because I've got like a video connection with no camera and an audio connection that doesn't have its mic turned on. Unless you just turned your mic off because you got a phone call, which I think is what I heard in the background. Unless you have a surprisingly chirpy and digital sound of flatulence, which I really think is what it is. What's the percentage of people in the crash? Who knows? Scott Deal. Let's see. It's human nature to want to be right. It kind of is. Kind of is. Scott Deal. Scott is 2 people. I'm going to hang up on Scott in a second because, again, he thinks he gets to be the producer of this show, or that he is, because... And then he does things like this, like just abandons the show. He didn't say, oh, excuse me, I'm getting a phone call. I'll be right back. None of that. None of that. Just, I'm out of here. What a bunch of hooey. which in Australia they call hooey sandwich. A hooey burger, sorry, hooey burger they call it in Australia. Chicken burger. I don't even like it when they call it a pizza burger. Not that pizza burgers weren't super delicious in elementary school, but still. I don't like it when they do that burger thing too much. It's like they started putting anything they wanted on pizza. And then they started saying anything can be a burger. Let's see.
Sorry, Tom, I had another phone
Gene
call.
says rude and rude. The Wolf says he's a real jerk. Guy's a real jerk.
I'm not a real jerk, Tom.
You didn't excuse yourself from the phone call.
The phone was ringing. What would you want me to do? You want me to excuse myself?
You should say, "Oh, I'm getting a call. I'll be right back." Boom.
I'm sorry. Well, you heard the phone
and that's why you are not and cannot be the producer of the show.
I
You have
am the
no
producer
respect for
of
the
the
show whatsoever.
Tom,
None.
I have the most respect for the show.
You left
I
me
put
hanging.
Way more effort.
You left me hanging.
Well, the host of the show.
I'm sitting there. I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, I'm like, "Is he still here? Am I talking to myself? I'm asking you a question, and it's just crickets."
Tom,
You know.
I put way more effort into this show than anybody else does.
No, that's not true.
Anybody other than you.
Well, it's not what you said.
Well,
That shows your disregard for me. You didn't even include me in your proclamation.
you're just the talent. I'm the producer.
I'm not
you're
just the talent. I'm the writer, creator, director,
You don't write anything. You
producer.
Just read off Wikipedia.
I'm rewriting what's on Wikipedia, in some cases, in my head while the show is going on. Also, have you not seen the descriptions in the YouTube? Gee, Scott, it's almost like you don't know what goes on with this show. My brilliant YouTube descriptions, my fascinating Twitter postings, my incredible Facebook postings, those require writing, as did the description of the show, answering comments. Please, don't define me. Don't diminish me.
Look, I'm gonna create so many more efficiencies around here.
You can't create an efficiency about things you are unaware exist. And I just mentioned like 6 of them. And you think you can produce this show. Please.
I will be your Elon Musk, and I'm going to create efficiencies all over the place, man.
Well, good. You can start by getting rid of yourself.
No, I'm the most important part of
No, I'm the most important part. Always have been, always will be. Other than my wonderful, generous, intelligent, switched on, groovy, hip, and attractive viewers. What's it say? Scott can't leave the land down under till he finds out how to get through the Great Reef. Lucas says, somewhat respectful is the best respectful. Somewhat. It's not respectful at all. Here in Philadelphia, we eat more pretzels than any place outside Germany. We have pizza pretzels. When pretzels go stale, they cover them with sauce and mozzarella. I actually don't mind that. Facebook is dying a slow death, and we'll be riding that baby. And by the way, who says Facebook won't or can't reinvent itself?
It can't.
Well, we'll see. Don't put our Tom in a box. Yes. Thank you, Gene. Wait a minute, Scott. I've been on twice for 3 hours on Sunday. Yeah, the Wolf's done quite a bit for the show, too, as have many people here. Rumpled Trenchcoat, a lot of people. Doc Torn. By the way, they have supported the show financially, Scott.
Oh,
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I need to be supported financially.
We'll accept your sort of ridiculous Australian dollars here.
Are you picking your ear?
I know. I was just sort of scratching it because when you wear these headphones for a long time, it sometimes gets a little.
You did fart before.
No, I didn't.
I'm going to go back and get that audio.
You go right
ahead. You didn't open your mouth. You did fart.
I didn't.
I
didn't.
The side.
If I had, I would admit it, but I didn't. So.
Have you ever farted on the show?
I'm old. I know when that happens.
No, I don't know.
Pray for it to
happen. That's what happens
sometime.
when you get old. Is you don't know when it happens.
Really? Maybe an Australian thing. I tried it with stupid Metaverse and it was a flop. What did you try with the Metaverse? I'd be interested in knowing. We didn't realize how good we had it with MySpace. MySpace was great. Metal has been on. Sure. Metal Maid Vicky's been on. Sure. I am sad I missed The Wolf this weekend. Well, it's members only, but you can certainly go watch it on demand. Or the I Am chat sounds rather. The sound is great on the chat.
Tom, are you on TikTok?
Not currently, no. Gifted won the Tom Gulley Show membership. I need to start making shorts for this show. And when I start making the shorts, then I will go on TikTok at the same time.
Not worried about the Chinese and all that kind of stuff?
I'd prefer not to be on it, but one of the reasons is it might get shut down here. So why be on it? Julian Zeezer has gifted one Tom Gulley Show membership. Gosh, I hope Scott doesn't get that. But
I got it last time. I had the premium membership for 1 month before. But no, that went to the 12th man.
Didn't even renew it. Let's see. And you want to be the producer?
I don't want to be. You asked me.
I never asked you. No, come on,
you were
please.
Off your tits one night.
That's not
you were
even
off your tits one night.
Off my what?
You were off your tits.
What's that even mean? Can you
drunk.
Speak English? Oh, I was drunk. Okay, now people really, really believe you. Well-known non-drinker. Well-known non-drinker. Julian Zeezer's getting the full point without banner for that generous donation of
There
a
is still a
membership.
banner over it, and the phone lines are open still over the top of it.
Really? Maybe in Australia, but not here.
Well, now it is.
No, now you got that delay.
Well, there was a
over there.
delay, you know what I mean?
You got that delay.
Wanna...
I guess that means this isn't live, huh?
Well, it's definitely on a time, because we need the dump button just in case, you do something like fart again.
I didn't do that.
Yeah,
see, and you make up things all the time like that.
I don't make up anything except for the few times that I've made stuff up.
Yeah, I make up nothing except when I make things up. Yes, well, anyway.
I do what is funny.
Scott, it's been a pleasure as always having you on, but I've got to get going here. As you know, being someone so intimately involved with the show, I appear on many other programs, and I am going to have to...
You're doing another program. Where are we going?
We?
Well, yeah, take me with you.
You got a mouse in your pocket? I'm not going anywhere with you. You wouldn't
Where
like...
you go?
You wouldn't like the show. Oh, it's a show... It's a brand new show. A really good friend of mine who's a chef, as a matter of fact, is starting it. And it's called... Only losers call chicken sandwiches chicken burgers.
Why are you not spruiking the show?
Oh, Tom, they said the guy who did the voice of Space Ghost has passed. Oh, man. This guy is great, Tom says pause. Well, Gordon Ramsay. Well, was that the thing? What did I ask? We tried it with stupid metaverse. Who? I don't know why he's saying Gordon Ramsay. I'm totally confused
Kitchen
now.
Nightmares. The American version of that show is so terrible. They just told him to be angrier and yell more.
I agree with that very much. George Lowe, Space Ghost voice actor, is dead at the age of 67, and he was the voice of Space Ghost on Space Ghost Coast to Coast. He was not the original voice of Space Ghost, but it doesn't...
How did he die?
Apparently, he had a heart attack. It says here, enraged that people from Australia aren't smart enough to call chicken sandwiches chicken burgers. He
if we wanted
doubled
to,
over, and he had elective heart surgery. And he recovered, but that recovery had a lot of sort of, side issues that he was unable to recover from, according to a friend of his. The family has not given.
What is an elective heart surgery mean? He either needed the surgery or he didn't.
Well, no, there's people with murmurs and stuff that can get by without a surgery, but they decide, hey, why don't I get one in case later on a problem develops or something. It's not emergency heart surgery. It's elective heart surgery.
Well, sounds like he probably shouldn't have gotten the elective heart surgery.
Or that, or a bunch of people voted for him to get it. That's why they called it elective.
He was getting a heart lift. That's what I mean. Like, I don't think you should be fucking around in there.
Hey.
I'm sorry. I mean,
you want to be the producer, yet you can't observe our family-friendly format here.
Okay, well,
this is a travesty. Tom, it's a travesty. It's an outrage.
Okay, but can we make it clear what words are swears and which ones aren't?
Swears? Do you mean, are you talking about profanity?
Yeah, what are the curse words?
Swears are like pinky swear, best friend swear. You know what they are. If you have to ask, that's a bad sign.
I feel like the F word is more of, it's just adding color.
You're Australian. You don't have any couth or discretion. You know, that's why there's no Australian producers on the most popular things in television, radio.
There are lots of Australians.
Kim Warfield says, if that guy tried to yell at me in a kitchen, he'd have food dumped on his head. Yeah, I agree. I agree that the, what was the first one? Kitchen Nightmares? Isn't that what it's called?
Well, I think they're both called Kitchen Nightmares.
No, one of them's called Hell's Kitchen.
Oh, okay.
But
Kitchen Nightmares is the British
one. The British Kitchen Nightmares is far superior to the American one.
Yeah, because he's like legitimately trying to help them, right? He's critiquing them, trying to help them.
Not only that, but he will actually compliment people when they do something good. I saw one episode of Kitchen Nightmares that he went into a restaurant that really didn't look very good when he went in. And it was a lady actually from the United States that made like soul food and barbecue. And he cleaned his plate and even just walked back into the kitchen and said, well, this has never happened before. This was just, and he will say, hey, this is extremely good what you're doing here. He doesn't do that in Kitchen Nightmares.
Yeah, but you just need to clean up the look of your restaurant.
Or even you're preparing it like this, you should try preparing it like that. Is this the impromptu George Lowe memorial show? He's Australian, swearing is normal for them. I know, that's the problem. One more time, does this guy need to be right? Yes, he does. Fanny is a swear in Bongland. Yes, Fanny over here is not a swear. Over there, it's, ooh, look out.
In Australia,
Fanny's not a swear word. Gordon Ramsay did a restaurant here in a neighborhood years ago. It went out of business like a year after his TV stunt. It's the thing about those restaurants that go out of business and the bars that go out of business and bar rescue, you have to realize that industry has restaurants and bars go out very common, very quickly if it's not a chain. So his rate of success is, I think, a little higher. It's in the range of what's normal, but he's had some very, very, very successful ones too. But yeah, if you go, there's a thing called reality show reviews or something where they actually chart the percentages and they'll tell you each episode if it's still around and why they went out of business. Some of those places just want the redo. So they get the new makeover and they might go back to their old name or their old menu, or they might immediately sell the property for a big profit once they fix it up.
Yeah, it may have changed hands after the show. You may not realize that.
A lot of British shows get too overwrought when the Yanks put their stink on it. Yeah, well, you guys also send a lot of stuff over here. You know, what, Temptation Island. Look, there's a give and take. We don't give you everything that's good. You don't give us everything that's good. And I'm still waiting for that big primetime super smash hit British show to come over here. Metal Man Vicky says, I used to watch Hell's Kitchen. Was pretty funny. He was so out of hand. He really was. But the fun part of Hell's Kitchen isn't so much Gordon Ramsay. It's the people that are on it that you root for. They also say,
I find American reality television like unbearable. Everyone's crying because their auntie,
I think it's,
something.
I don't watch it. There's a lot of Americans that don't watch it.
Then who's it
It's
made for,
awful.
right? Why do they keep making?
It's made for sort of guilty pleasure watching. You know, it's
Hey,
this
catty
this
daddy, get a dog up, yeah. There you go.
constantly go out of business with new managers. Everyone, yeah, The Office seems to be the most successful show that went there. Well, that's because we took The Office from England and made it good, made it better.
I mean that, yeah, sure, that's true. That did happen, but there was also a bunch of shows that did not work out. You guys
We've
tried the
taken,
IT crowd.
we
That
took
was terrible.
the All in the Family. We took that, was a British idea. We took Sanford and Son, that was a British idea. Hey, look, until the British get used to the fact that they're not eating schnitzel and speaking German because of us, after that, our boys dying over there for.
I mean, you guys are just turning into the New England. You do realize that as well, right? You're the new
No,
empire, essentially.
no.
You're making your own royal family.
What have we taken over that we haven't had for 50 to 100 years recently? Nothing.
I mean, well, nothing recently, but that
We do not
if
indulge in
your
colonialism.
current governments have their way, that will
We do
change.
not indulge in colonialism. And when it happens, wake me up. I watch a lot of reality TV like Survivor, Big Brother, and Amazing
You don't
Race.
think
Are
they're
my
going to
favorite.
take Greenland?
No.
Oh, I think you'd be
Hollywood
surprised.
took coupling, but it didn't work. Yeah. I didn't bother with shows like Bachelor, Love Island, Below Deck, etc. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Tim says it in the chat. You're trying to take over Canada, Greenland, and Gaza.
How are we trying to take that over? What are we
Your
actually doing?
president's saying
Or
it.
is it just a bunch of bombast and nothing is actually happening?
Yeah, you are turning into England.
Come on. I know you guys are in your feels, but he says a lot of things that never happen. A lot. And what do you think the international community is going to say if we try to take over Greenland or Canada?
Nothing. They're not going to say anything.
Oh, I think they would. And isn't Canada like you guys kind of owned by Great Britain?
No, England has no control over Canada, and they don't even need to step in.
Why is the
whatsoever.
Queen on their money?
Because it's a symbolic thing. It's like it's purely a symbolic gesture towards the roots of the country.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. If you say so.
I do say so. You think you're not turning into the same sort of thing as far as a country?
You do know that King Charles is the head of state in Canada as part of the Commonwealth.
Or anything as he had to do with the country.
As part of the Commonwealth. Well, that's not the same. That's not the same thing. It's like Puerto Rico is ours, but it's its own country, and they have their own elections and people and stuff. But if somebody tried to take over Puerto Rico, we'd have something to say about it. And I imagine the UK would have something to say about it if we tried to take over Canada and Australia. We're not going to try to take over Australia though, because we have garbage dumps here, much closer, and so. But we're not doing either one of those things. I'm sorry, we're just not.
All right, okay, say hypothetically, you do start taking those over.
I don't deal in hypotheticals. We've covered this before.
Then do you concede that you're turning into England?
I don't think we would turn into, because England, the sun never set on the English Empire, and they colonially took over a bunch of places. I don't see us
It was a different time.
trying to do that, or B, being able to do that.
It was a different time.
Then you make my point for me.
Right.
We're not going to be like England.
You are.
We
you
don't
are. You're
have
gonna have
that
your own royal
ability.
family. You're going to have your own sort of, like elites that basically control the government.
We have our oligarchy here, just like they do in England. Goober said, think of all the trash we can dump in Canada. The Wolf says, Scott, you are full of Vegemite.
It's Vegemite, not Vegemite.
Well, excuse us for not being able to properly spell the devil's vomit.
Delicious.
Stuff is awful. Tastes like it's been eaten
delicious.
Once already.
Becoming more like Russia than England. No, I don't agree with that.
I would say that is far more accurate. That is far more accurate because they're talking about taking over places very close to us. England was all over the world. We're going to become part of a digital fiefdom, but we're not doing that. We're not going to take over Greenland. Why would we want it? We're not going to take over Canada because we can't. Hey, has anyone had a smash burger or Five Guys? Kind of costly, but very good. The best thing about Five Guys is that whole potato that they put in that slicer and make into French fries. Though they have incredible fries at Five Guys, I think. Scott LaRock says, where's all this hostility coming from? It's coming from Adelaide in Australia.
No, I think he's talking about the hostility from you.
I'm not the one saying we're taking over places and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm the one saying that's not going to happen. How can I be the hostile one? You're the one accusing us.
Tim's saying that England took over Scotland, Wales, and Ireland, and they're close.
Yeah, you also tried to take over the Zulus. Come on, man. Don't play that game with me, Tim. Please. You took over many places that were far flung from the UK. What am I supposed to do with the other 4 guys? I don't know. I don't care how it's spelled. It's Aussie crap. Ooh, wow. That had to hurt. Yes, Five Guys fries are delicious, and they give you a lot of them. Yeah, and they put them in a cup. Julian Caesar says, I'm from Philadelphia, Vicky, and we don't get any of those restaurants unless the unions and the mafia approve of them. So basically we get nothing but mom and pop shots and some big fast food. You know, we started on Philadelphia. But I do have to go. I'm due on another thing here.
What show are you going on so the audience can follow you?
I don't particularly think I need to divulge that. The audience has things to do. And it's a show that's being recorded, so I will announce it before it's released. After it's been produced.
So there's no live audience.
No.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. Hey, Chief Rick, eliminating the Abos was like playing genocide on easy mode. I agree.
What did they call that? Pacification by force or whatever.
Yeah, there was scientists that believe you could breed out the genes and stuff like that.
No, pacification by force was hire Thomas Quigley to go there and shoot him with a rifle from long distance.
Yeah.
So.
What do they mean by Tom likes them better than he likes us? You like British better than you like US?
I don't know what he means. And I don't know how that could be true because I
know you are
and I don't know how that could be true because I just said we're not like England, we're more like Russia. So can't have it both ways. Tim Jenkins said just have to give them some petrol to sniff. Metal Maid Vicky says we don't have Steak and Shake here like Tom was talking about before. Oh, it's so good. The show he's fleeing to, that's what I thought he meant. You're trying to bring up a whole thing, and I know what you're trying to do, and you can't.
You don't know what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, I do. And it's
so you like the other show better than you like your audience here?
No, I just would prefer to wait until I find out when it's going to be released and promote it close to that date.
Is there episodes out already for the show?
You mean has this show done other episodes with other people?
Correct, yeah.
Yes.
And are they released?
Yes.
Well, then it should be fine to just name the episode.
I'm sending them there until I'm on it.
You're not sending them there. You're getting them hyped for your appearance.
I don't need to get these people hyped. They are constantly in a state of hype. Another reason you shouldn't produce the show. You shouldn't produce the show. You shouldn't produce the show because you can't tell. You don't know our audience.
I do know the audience.
No, you don't know. These are busy people. They're very, very busy, intelligent people.
These people would sit here for another 4 hours.
I don't know when it's going to air yet. I don't want to get them excited too soon, or whether it even will. Maybe the person gets mad at me and kicks me off the show. Who knows what's going to happen? I would prefer to wait until the person who's in charge of the show, which is not you, would just tell me it'll be on this date at this time. And then I will have enough lead time to say, hey, boom, shakalaka, going to be on this show at this time.
You need to get people hyped.
And I can promote it several days in advance. Yeah, but hype only lasts so long. What if it doesn't air for a month or 6 weeks?
Well, you're just teasing people.
No, I don't like to tease people. That's what you like to do.
No, not tease in that way. Like you know.
No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. You can't extensively tease people. It's better to promote something, unless it's, President Trump's coming on the show, that you would do way in advance. But it's better to do it, 4 days, 5 at the most.
You could do that multiple times. You can do it 4 weeks out, and 3 weeks out, and 2 weeks out, then 1 week out.
No.
You don't understand.
People get burnout on that. You got to
get the hype train going.
People get burnout on that. Thanks to all chatters.
Hype
Thanks, Tom.
train.
Thanks. The show that you produce doesn't even announce it's going to do a show until one just pops up. So don't give me that advance notice crap. Maybe he's going on Alex Jones. That'll never happen.
What's wrong with Alex Jones?
Although I was on Alex Jones once already, so hype is valuable. I think it was a caller early on or whatever. Hype train. HC Frick said, "Can we all agree that freshly shredded cheddar is best for a burger?"
I mean, once it's melted, it's all the same, right?
It is, but I like the cheddar that's real cheddar, like real Wisconsin cheese cheddar, that they scoop and that grease is still in it, in the little marbling, and then they put it in, it's like in a ball on top of the burger, and then you mash it down and spread it out. That's the kind I like the best. Freshly shredded isn't bad. It's just like I like that other kind better.
Wolf is insane for thinking that he prefers American cheese.
Well, when Wolf says
American cheese is like processed garbage.
When Wolf is saying that, he's not talking about processed American cheese. He's talking about real American cheese.
Well, cheese.
And you are correct in that most people that use American cheese use that processed awful crap. But real American cheese is actually decent cheese.
I agree that American cheese is as bad as American bread. You guys don't know how to make bread.
Would you put freshly shredded cheddar on a $1 burger, a $100 burger? Well, that's a question for the $100 burger guy, or the freshly shredded cheese guy. Tillamook cheese for the win. A lot of people do like Tillamook. Tim Jenkins says American cheese is as bad as American bread. I would agree that the bread that most Americans use is bad, but if you either make your own or go to a real bakery, you can get good bread here. It's just that most Americans do not do that. And I think it's mostly because of the way that most Americans are brought up. They're brought up on that loafy white bread.
Well, it's very sweet. That's what I noticed when I went.
It's also it's not very substantial. A good bread should really let you know it's there in flavor and texture and all that other stuff. But
I don't mind like a light sliced bread, with a good crust on it, but I don't know. It's the sweetness. I don't know what you guys are doing, like packing it full of sugar or something like that. But
when I eat like Wonder Bread, it's like I'm not. It's just there's nothing there. And I don't mind a thin sliced bread or something, but I need to know it's a real bread. American white bread is just like you go through it so fast. I don't think you're
understanding my complaint.
No, I understand your complaint. I'm just telling you about my complaint.
You're not acknowledging.
I agree with you. You keep talking about the sweetness. I don't find it particularly quote unquote sweet, but it doesn't have that robust, full, grainy taste of real bread. It's got sort of I don't want to say acidic, but it does have a little, if you want to call it sweet, call it that. I don't find it to be that, but it has a non-substantial taste. It's
Caddy
just
Daddy, you can't send cheese into Australia.
I'm from Philadelphia. We have the best fresh bread and rolls, but it only lasts like half a day. If you're in the suburbs someplace, your bread is probably substandard. No, you can go to a real bakery and get absolutely delicious bread. You really can.
Our bread's great. I mean, but the
other thing is, if you get the bread in Philadelphia, you're in Philadelphia. So why have better bread when you want to just jump off a bridge? I'd send Scott some 10-year aged cheddar. Yeah, I think is that illegal or something?
You can't send any food here,
basically. By the time he got it. I used
it's not about the speed.
Caddy Daddy doesn't watch Border Force. Actually,
I can get a parcel from the US in like 3 days if I want to.
You know, guys, bread.
If you pay for it.
They've been making bread in America for a long time, and it's been handed down from German immigrants, Dutch immigrants, whoever. We got good bread everywhere. Okay, there's no place that has the best. I can see Wisconsin. We have the best sausage. We have the best. There's no bread capital of America. The only problem with bakery bread, you have to use it within 24 hours. Not so much, really.
If the cheese is shiny, it probably isn't good for you. That's a great comment.
But what's the big deal of having to use it within 24 hours? But not all breads. Some breads, yes, but not all of them. You can get what they call sandwich bread that actually lasts longer. It's you guys just need to learn a little more about your bread, okay? Don't make me let me tell you about bread.
Man, I'll have to be there for that one as well, man, because you don't know much about bread.
Real American cheese from a deli is something very good. Yeah, real American cheese is a whole different matter, but most people don't use it. Now we're in bread talk. Whoa, buddy, I got to get going. If the cheese is shiny, it probably isn't good for you. That's right. And if it's wrapped in a plastic, it's probably not good too. Julian, I was just kidding about Philadelphia, man. I hope I didn't make you mad. Americans always say they feel much healthier and lose weight when they visit Europe because the food is better.
It is better.
Are you crazy? Maybe we say that about England, where they'll serve you leprechaun's face pie. But when we go to France, we don't lose weight there. When we go to Germany, we don't lose weight there. I've never heard an American say that. Never in my life have I heard an American say, oh, I went to Europe and I got so much thinner. Because when we go to England, all we do is drink black and tans nonstop, sliders. The bread is always cheap. Not always. I got pretzel buns on sliders. Thanks, God. Julian, it is. Kim Warfield, sourdough sounds like a San Francisco thing. Yum. How about those cheese curds? Cheese curds are delicious, I think. All right, Scott, thank you really seriously for calling in. Do appreciate it.
I appreciate it. You know I love you. Can I get a kiss?
I don't know that. Yeah, kiss. Kiss.
Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss.
Julian Caesar. Tom's most controversial show, The Burger Show. All right, Scott. There you go.
Blow me a kiss. Just blow me a kiss, Tom.
I just did, Scott.
I haven't seen it. No, we'll wait for the video to catch up.
It'll get over there through.
You didn't touch your lips. You just gestured it. I want the lips to touch the hand.
They did.
No, they didn't.
My lips touched my hand, Scott.
Okay, do it again. Mwah.
I'm not doing it again, Scott.
Just come on. Everyone kisses in the chat. Mwah, we're kisses. The Kiss Crew Club. We're the Kiss Crew Club. Come on. We had fun.
Just guys, people laughing, saying hi. Let's go through all these. He wants a down under kiss. I'll bet he does.
Thank you, Tom.
Metal Maiden Vicky says, love it. Good sourdough is, man, it's a good bread. Gene says, Scott, it's time to say goodbye. Terry Nee says, they're telling us that's all we have time for. That looked more like a Nazi salute to you. And by the way, you don't know what a Nazi salute looks like. And you know why you don't know what a Nazi salute looks like? Because my uncle and his brothers came over there back in 1942 and saved your bacon.
The Australians did too, Gallipoli.
Yeah, all four of them. Yeah, Gallipoli. That turned out well. All right, Scott. Well, another great Australian military victory. Anyway, so why don't we say goodbye? But I do appreciate you being on the show very much, and please come back again. Maybe after Skype no longer works, and we'll get you on here. We really will.
No worries, man. Please.
All right. Thanks a lot. You have a good day, brother. Wants to be the host of the producer of the show. Can't even say goodbye properly. Did you hear that? Not even a goodbye or a nice to be here or I enjoyed myself or any of that. Just off like a prom dress into his real life again. I think he did something nefarious through Skype, and he's jacking with my computer right now because he had like 4 people joined. Who knows what that guy's up to? The wolf says, "I'll send you a kiss straight from my heart, blue Valentine's, blue velvet style." All right, kids, I gotta tell you that. Paz says, "I think you two have good chemistry." Well, see, here's the thing, Paz. Have you ever seen me with a guest on the show that hasn't been amazing chemistry? That's because I'm so good at it. It's nothing to do with Scott. I'm able to take a 3-toed troglodyte like Scott and make him seem entertaining because of the skill that I possess. I know exactly how to... No, he's just a really great guy, and he's a very funny guy, and I enjoy talking to him. Although, Australian doing an Irish goodbye. Producer Scott, no, he's not. He's not. Goobers finds him funny. He is funny. He's a funny man. He's a very, very funny, malignant internet troll. I mean, person. Anyway, hey, I got to thank all you guys for being here. I'm about to chew my arm off right now, just so we can be frank about this. I am so hungry. And that old clock on the wall I see is telling me it's time for me to get up on out of here like the Reverend Al Green. You do not have to go home, but you can't stay here. Thank you all so much for your super chats and your memberships and your likes. Please like, share, subscribe, retweet, notification bell. All of that stuff helps us with that algorithm, and that's really important. If you could put it on your Meta, your Facebook, if you could put it on your Twitter, just the link, man, that would help us. And tell everybody how much you like the show, and so we can get that subscription thing happening to get more and more subscribers. And we'd like to thank Doc for being here and being such a great part of the show for 8 months. I think he's pretty busy these days because we'd love to see more of him, as always. We can't get enough Doc. And then Metal Maiden Vicky, oh, so generous, so great in the chat room. Metal Maiden Vicky's Metal Euphoria is every Saturday from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You gotta go to sonicasylumradio.com. Their chat room is the bomb. Wolf loves going over there. If you love metal, there's really no excuse not to be listening to sonicasylumradio.com 24/7. Julian Zeezer, the Philadelphia Flash. He's gifted memberships not once, but twice on the program today. Julian, we love you being here too. Very funny, very informative. The chef, good friend of my sister's in real life. And he gifted 5 Tom Gulley Show memberships today. That was awesome. And Terry Nee. Terry is just the best. Everybody loves Terry Nee. Nobody doesn't like Terry Nee. And we love him here too. So anyway, thank you guys for being here. Thanks for everything you do. And with all that being said, oh, by the way, I don't know what on tomorrow's show. I think I'm just going to have to do overrated, underrated, which is always a ratings loser. But it is Friday and nothing does well on Friday. So, okay, tomorrow, overrated, underrated. Till next time, we'll see you next time.